Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon with Ace podcast. This is episode 8 and we've got a doozy of a podcast right here. I am the Angry Raccoon.
And I'm Ace.
Yes, it's good to have you back, man. It's good to be recording this in some real sense.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
My name's actually part of the title now. I feel blessed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was always going to be, but I think it makes sense to actually just have you in the title now.
Yeah.
Anyway, as soon as it's no longer like stranger to the podcast, it's friend, and hopefully everyone enjoys you. So
Yay.
that should be good.
Victory.
Yeah. So we're back, and we got a few updates to drop down first. This podcast is going to be every fortnight now. If you don't know what a fortnight is, it means every 2 weeks. So
but with a fork.
But with a fork. That's going to be the thumbnail of this podcast.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so it's going to be every 2 weeks. That's what a fortnight means in British terminology. And we essentially what will happen is we are going to record on hopefully the end of a week and have it uploaded the beginning of the first week. There's no promises here. And then the week after, there'll be no podcast. And then that week, you should get the next podcast. It's just so we can have a full, packed, worthwhile listening to podcast instead of, let's say, we come up with episode 9 and it's just like only one thing happened and we talk for like half an hour. Because this podcast is going to be packed. Brimming. We got some stuff to talk about. But first, how's things been, Ace?
Things have been pretty good so far, Raccoon.
Likewise.
Yeah, life-wise it's going pretty well. Just still stressing with uni work a bit for me.
But we're off, though.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. The grind's still going.
Daily grind.
Exactly. This uni stuff is not get a week off, you're done. No. You're still working.
There's still work to be done, really.
Yeah.
With this, which is, I mean, I've still got work I'm currently doing because if I do believe I mentioned in the previous podcast, I went to Japan. That's my major life update, and I've been back just under a week of the recording of this podcast, and I'm finally getting used to being back in England now. I was in Japan for about 11 days, and it got to the point where I really did believe I lived in Japan, which is interesting. I mean, I've already said this to you. Like, Japan is kind of like the land of convenience.
Yeah.
In a good way, and not too much in a lazy way. Where
it's something I aspire to be. Like,
convenient
in the good way, not as in lazy.
Not like the people in Wall-E where they're just kind of in floating chairs and it's like they press a button and they get anything. In their world is very interestingly crafted. I would say. For example, I was hungry one night and I just walked down to the left the hotel, walked down to a convenience store and got like a ton of food for like just under £10, which was about 1,000 yen.
Okay, that's currency. Pretty cool.
And it felt strange to do that, but at the same time it felt familiar. Yeah. But it was in such a different context, and it's nice finally being used to speaking to people and actually have them speak your language and actually understand what you're saying instead of someone saying something in Japanese and just be like, yeah, I'm buying this, here's the money. But yeah, I may do a separate discussion, or there may be a video about Japan at some point on the channel, so look out for that. But anything else you want to add before we move into our subtopics?
Well, for me with my project, it's end up going to bars a lot and talking to people.
How far is that without like saying where we are currently recording?
In what way?
In the sense of how far is it from London?
It's about 40 minutes away.
Okay, fair enough.
To get to, which it can be pretty cool, but people keep offering drinks, and that's the problem.
The place you went?
Yeah, very friendly people, and meeting them again for more research for this.
Oh yeah, you have another trip to plan.
Yeah, that's on May the 7th.
You willing to share this with the fellow listeners, or are you going to keep this under wraps for now?
Yeah, sure. It's a project on the subgenre of vampire lifestyle and culture, which a lot of people didn't think actually existed, or if it did, it would have been America only. But the people, usually they're just dressing in black, and they've got like special effects fangs and stuff, and usually drinking some sort of vodka and cranberry, from what I saw. But really friendly people.
I can imagine. I mean, even just in fiction, vampires are generally just nice people. Even if their only intention is to suck your blood, they'll still be nice about it. Except for like, some interpretations of Dracula.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. I hope to meet you up on the next visit down there. But that's something that maybe the audience, maybe the listeners have something to look forward to in some spectrum. And I just remember this. Moving on to just before we move on to the subtopics, we're going to try something new on the podcast. I've not told you about this, Ace.
Oh, okay.
But for the first time on the podcast, we have a try something episode where as of right now, you can't see this. I am presenting Ace with a Kit Kat from Japan.
Okay.
And
that's it's smaller than my pinky finger.
Yes, it's mini, and I want to
it's green.
Yeah, it's I'm not going to tell you the flavor, but I just want you to think about what flavor you think it is, because this is something I still think is worth being on the podcast. Right.
It looks white chocolate.
Oh, and it's just crumbled.
Yeah.
Oh, well, eat it quick. Thinking about it. No way. There's no pressure to getting it like right or nothing.
It tastes kind of strawberry.
Strawberry, kind of.
Yeah. It's it looks white chocolate, and the wafer is normal. But it tastes very much strawberry, vanilla-y something. I'm trying to see what it's...
You're trying to find what it is. I can tell you if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
There's no point keeping it secret. It is... I've partly forgotten it myself. I believe it is strawberry cheesecake flavour.
Okay, so I was actually very close.
Yes, you're fairly close. So you noticed a lot of it. I've even got like one here. I've got less than a few left. And the reason why I've been saving onto these is because the very interesting thing about them is that you can actually put these in the microwave.
Can you?
And cook them, yes.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yes, I've got 3 left and I'm going to be doing that with them.
Okay.
So I'll definitely look up these Kit Kats. They're very interesting, and if you can get some, I would recommend, because I like them.
They're actually really nice.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd try something new. I understand that eating something on an audio podcast isn't necessarily the most visual friendly, but
I'll just like put the label up to the microphone. You can all see that, right?
See that, right? Right.
Product placement.
Cool. Well, hold on. You moved it a little bit.
Oh, I've got to have the Kit Kat logo showing.
Your thumbs move. Yep.
Okay.
Alright, there we go.
There.
Okay, I got it. Alright, we'll make that the thumbnail.
Ka-ching.
Yeah. Ka-ching. Right. So moving on to some of our topics, we're gonna first hit it with Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. What is Mankind Divided other than the general sociological statement?
Well, when first I heard about this, and it was basically supposed to be the sequel to Deus Ex Human Revolution.
A fantastic game.
Yeah, a really good game, but the controversy I had was that it said none of the endings, the 4 endings in the game, are canon for this story. Like, it just takes a completely different route from any of those, so your choices don't matter.
Which is exactly what you want from a video game, I would imagine, especially a game with choice.
Yeah.
I mean, the gamers have already been burnt on this a couple of times in the past, more recently being with Mass Effect 3.
Yes.
Having a trilogy that led up to nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks, EA. And, I mean, I thought... I love Deus Ex, and I have the game twice. I own it twice. I have a copy of the original edition.
Yeah.
I think it came with like a few extra guns or some kind of special edition. And then I have the director's.
I got the exact same as you.
Yeah.
Both.
which I've not played yet, mainly because I've already played the game and I want to just get through games I have not played. But
I've actually played the director's one, and the boss battles are very improved.
Good.
They're so much better.
Yeah, because
I was able to hide in vents against them.
Which is good, because I mean the boss battles, as interesting as they were so damn glitched out. It made like no sense. I remember one of the bosses could be beaten where I'll try and avoid spoilers as much as possible. If before you enter the room you throw grenades into the room and then walk fives walk in, initiate the cutscene, and then he's dead.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
And it's like absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Which is a massive shame, but yeah.
Yeah, they released a trailer for Mankind Divided, and it's just a CG trailer, but from what it shows in the trailer, it looks like stuff for the mechanics of the game. So, like how the character Barrett in Deus Ex Human Revolution had the gun hand,
Yeah.
it looks like Adam Jensen will have that. And he can also do the running takedown cloak thing that I think the second boss lady had. So they're giving some upgrades to the character, which would make sense.
So you think this is all that there's going to be in this game? Other than this bullshit ending?
That's it so far. Like, I mean, that's all they've showed, so I'm not getting overly hyped about it.
So here's a question which I think no one in, let's just say, gaming journalism has asked, and that's like, and it is this: why the fuck is Square Enix milking this one game?
Yeah, that's what confused me as well.
I mean, I understand it is a good game.
Yeah.
It is not the Jesus Christ of video gaming.
No.
It's a very good game.
Yeah.
But we've had, 2 remakes of this game now? Yes, it was partly broken in some areas and it had some serious faults. That was the director's cut was for. That pretty much fixed it and made a good game much better. My question is, still, why are they milking this one game?
Well, the problem is they actually milked it a bit more than that. There was an app game where you played as a military guy from Australia in the same universe, and it's basically the exact same, just less and worse.
Wasn't that game really bad though?
Yeah, it was really bad.
Sometimes I don't actually understand what Square Enix is doing, because it seems like every time they get something good, it's like, we're gonna milk it. No, they won't let anything breathe.
I think they just want more advertising for Final Fantasy, and that will be this. I mean, in Deus Ex Human Revolution, there was a poster for like Final Fantasy 20. So they clearly need to update that, so it'll be Final Fantasy 25 in this.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Final Fantasy 13-4.
Okay.
Because everyone loves that series.
Yeah.
Which is really sad when you have to say that there was a series just based on Final Fantasy 13. It could have been a good game.
It could
Even if it was a good game and we got 3 fantastic good games, still.
No one would have
Final Fantasy 13-2?
Yeah.
Like, what? It's getting confusing. I mean, I still can't wait to see what they're going to call the Order 1886-2.
The Order 1887.
That'd be confusing.
Or they could just call it the Order 1886 Part 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
The Revenge. The Beatdown.
The second one.
The second one. I think we had a chat about this on the previous podcast.
We did.
I think this is a topic that we will keep coming back to until the sequel is released. Or the DLC.
Yeah, which will be 5 hours more.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if the DLC was actually called Prologue?
No, wouldn't it be funny if the DLC was longer than the actual game?
Ooh.
Like it's 6 hours, that'd be amazing.
Because have you noticed how the developers have been very quiet now?
Yeah,
Extremely
I've heard
quiet.
nothing at all.
Nothing. I mean, at least with other developers can be like proud that they've made a game that at least has good points to it. I mean, yes, there are good things in this game, but it's like a 1%.
Well, it's got good concepts. It just does nothing with them.
You see how some games have the games that are just fairly, the games that are either hidden gems or just good to play or own. Yeah. They're usually met with a 70-30 kind of comparison, where it's 70% of the game is fantastic, and you got that 30% where it's there's the main reason why people didn't like it.
Yeah.
With that game, it's hey, you've got this cool concept, everything else is shit.
Yeah. Basically, that's the whole thing. I was interested in it because of that. It's that seems cool. You got werewolves, you got this kind of steampunk technology stuff.
I wouldn't call it steampunk.
No, that's why I said kind of.
No,
because it's in the idea of new technology done old. That's the only reason I'm saying it's similar.
I guess if you want to spin that in there,
it's like a
sure.
bastardized steampunk in a way.
It's a steampunk for the sake of, let's be different, because that's what they think steampunk is. Have you ever seen anyone who cosplays steampunk?
I have. Some of it is beautiful.
It's really nice to look at, and I can understand why people get on board that, because it's
Yeah.
such a niche thing to tap in, and I don't really think anyone has really done it right, other than I guess Spider-Man and Batman Noir.
Yeah. I think Spider-Man Noir does it.
I think he does it much. He has a gun, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a gun, but kind of the rest of it is kind of that. There is also Marvel, I think 16 something, and it's set during like Victorianish era or before that, and they've got that kind of technology for Iron Man, which is pretty cool.
London 16th century Victorian time is one of the best markets you can tap into.
Yeah.
People just don't do it.
Well, Amnesia tried it for a Machine for Pigs, and that didn't really do that well.
Oh, it works in some sense. The main issue people have with Machine for Pigs is it wasn't fucking scary.
Yeah.
Where's the jump scares? I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand this beautifully crafted story.
Yeah, it was a really good story. The only problem is it started to drag a bit too much.
Of course.
But that was it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if people are expecting the second coming of Christ with that game, and
I think that's what everyone expects when they hear about a sequel. They think it's going to be as good or better. When
it can be.
5% of the time it can be.
Yeah. I think we've rambled on Deus Ex.
Yeah. I kind of forgot we were talking about Deus Ex.
Yeah, but that's fine. This isn't no strict. We don't have no tight regime.
Yeah.
To this, but we do have an idea. In case anyone's wondering, it's not just we sit down for an hour and we talk. As much as most of the podcast does become that, but it's good to have something to talk about because that's what friends do.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, we've got The Legend of Kay,
Yeah.
a PS2 game back from 2000 and I believe 5 or 4 for the PS2. Was originally released and was I think it was somewhat of a critical success and financial success, but it kind of just one of those games that just kind of fell under the rug.
Yeah, I'd say it must be like a really cult classic kind of game because
it's a very, especially in the platformer kind of thing. I mean, from what I've seen of the game, it kind of reminds me of what is the game? It kind of reminds me of what Star Fox Adventures I think tried to go for, but just kind of didn't make it there. And I think it's obviously a much better game than that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of in. If you want to talk about in its kind of genre, it's kind of up there with Beyond Good and Evil and the other game with the mummy.
The Sphinx thingy.
Yeah, Sphinx. I think those people made Cthulhu or something like that.
Seriously?
I think so. They made some like horror game. I think that was the next game they did. I think so, but it is being remastered for the Wii U and PC, which is makes me really happy because another game to add to my Wii U collection.
Yeah,
and I think it's a nice thing to do because I think maybe Nintendo. We'll get to Nintendo later, but I think Nintendo has definitely gone. Well, we scooped up Bayonetta and we released the first one, and people really seem to dig that. Is there anyone else who could do with a remastering that makes sense?
Yeah.
Because, they're taking something that I guess a lot of people probably haven't heard of.
Yeah, because I hadn't heard of this.
And at the same time, something that I think people would like as well.
Also, I thought it looked very nice. It looked very fun. It looked stylistic in its own.
Yes.
The only thing that even comes close, in my opinion, is Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, I think
style-wise.
I think that is the only comparison, but that game predates it big time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got an interesting plot, and I mean, even the only downside I can say is that I kind of prefer the front cover to the original PS2 box art, where it's kind of got him facing off against the main villain. If you want to look that up, but I'm just glad to hear that there's going to be more love for the Wii U in the spectrum of games because according to my knowledge, I was looking it up the other day. People always bitch about the Wii U ain't got no games.
Yeah,
I've actually double checked. The Wii U has about 150 games.
Whoa! Wow. Okay.
So yeah, and that's not even me bluffing.
Yeah,
it actually does. Yeah, of course, they may not be the best games in the world, but
no. But
still,
there seems
compared to the PS4 and Xbox combined, woo!
Yeah, I mean, I can actually probably name at least 20 Wii U games that I'd actually buy. The only difference is I don't have a Wii U. I can
name 20 Wii U games I want to play.
Okay. But, yeah, PS4, I could probably name a handful. Xbox, no.
Oof, that's how much we love talking about that.
Yeah.
Continuing to speak of good systems, we have the really good news that Fatal Frame 5, the next in the I guess the main series, in the main series installment, is going to be released for Western countries, including England and Australia and America, which is really good news because I was kind of hoping that this game would come out. I believe it has like this. I believe it's called the Maiden of the Black Shrine.
Okay,
it's And of course, this game makes too much sense.
Yeah.
For it being on the Wii U, you know that massive gamepad can be used as the camera obscura, which is your main weapon, which is basically a camera that you use to just take pictures of ghosts, and is your only sense of defense. The idea of you possibly standing in your room late at night, kind of turning around looking for that ghost that's trying to kill you, and seeing it either on the gamepad or just hearing something in your room, is just perfect.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing. I completely forgot about the gamepad.
Yeah.
And then just realising Fatal Frame gamepad. Oh.
Yeah.
That can do some amazing things there.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I think a lot of games don't really utilise the gamepad that much because it's just kind of like...
yeah.
You know, I'm glad that this is something that makes sense.
Yeah,
even if it just becomes like a concept.
It seems kind of like a perfect fit, though.
Yeah. It really does. I mean, I'm also wondering whether they'll be releasing Fatal Frame 4, which was on the Wii. I'm kind of hoping they do the same thing that they did with Bayonetta, where they're like, oh, hey, here's 4, as it was, as a slight remaster, and here's 5. I'm really hoping they do that, because I think it's been one of the games that Nintendo's been pestering them about. Koei, I believe, who... I think it may be Koei, don't quote me on that, who produced the game, and I think this... a back and forth between Nintendo going, ask Koei, and Koei saying, ask Nintendo. And,
oh, God.
I just kind of hope that it does get released, because it is a very interesting idea for a game, and also the fact that Suda51 actually worked on this game. So I need
Seriously?
Yes, he did this game. It's not, obviously he's not on the title or anything like that, because... You know, he's not that kind of person where he needs to have... Not that I'm saying anyone who puts the name on the game. I'm looking at you, Clive...
Clive Barker?
Clive... Who made Jericho.
Barker's Jericho, Clive's Revenge.
Yeah, that game.
Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I want to add that to my Suda51 collection.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that was worth noting. We got like one of the last... things to talk about that's being released over here.
Okay.
And that's Yokai Watch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, big Pokemon fans, like both of us.
Yes.
And I hadn't heard anything about this at all until you... Yeah, we've got a Master Ball here, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going to catch you.
I'm just holding it in my hand.
Yeah. I've never heard anything about this, but it looks really interesting. Even though, like, from what I've seen...
Game-wise or the anime-wise?
I haven't seen anything about the game. I've got the anime saved so I can watch it.
Okay.
But it just looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give you guys some exclusive information here. Obviously, the game originates from Japan. I've been to Japan. And I think when posing the question of can this be the next Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it can. It's everywhere. It's everywhere in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, Pokemon still has a toy section.
Yeah.
But, you know, Yokai Watch has a toy section and a section, and it has the I forget what the red cat's called, the main character.
Okay.
I forget, they're called, like, Yos or something, like Kai. I forget what the little monsters are called. But, see the character everywhere. He's on everything. You can get him on everything. I think this is going to catch on more with kids, though.
Yeah.
This will most likely catch on more with kids than I think our generation. I would say I can mainly see us maybe dipping in it and being like, oh, okay.
It's okay, but it's not really my Pokemon.
No, we're not trying to say anything. You know, like, oh, it's not my Pokemon. I can't get, you know, invested in it. But I think if it comes over and if the game does look alright, I think I can pick it up. Another game for the almighty 3DS will be alright.
Interesting note about the game. I know a lot about mythology and stuff. Yokai is actually Japanese demon.
Yeah. Which... most of them are demon looking. The cat has a I believe his tail is on fire.
Yeah.
Blue flame.
But I think it's very interesting 'cause you see that a lot in some stuff where they've got the little bits which obviously most Western people would not get.
Yeah, they would not get, mainly because they just generally won't. No, I understand not everyone's going to understand Japanese mythology, but at the same time, it makes sense. I mean, Pokemon, there is a lot of... I think every Pokemon is based on something, even if it's just the animal to, you know, Legends of Mythology or whatever, but I think Digimon is like one of the only ones where it doesn't take too much to some extent, because it's like Starfire, you know, to some extent.
It's just like digital everything.
Digital everything. I remember someone having an argument about the gender of some of them, and I remember someone being the pieces of like data, they have no gender, and it's like, and then people are like, oh, why does this character talk like a female, and why does this character like evolve into like a female looking figure and a male looking figure, and it was like, oh god.
Those are the kind of questions I always get confused. Like, who thinks about that?
It's an interesting question to some extent, but it's kind of like, calm down.
Yeah, it really is. How do you come up with this stuff?
Bored people, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. I know a friend of mine the other day came up with the conclusion where he kind of said, how come you don't see black people in fail videos?
Okay. That's
Which,
true.
when you think about it, you're like...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you don't.
Yeah.
You very, very rarely... Like, I even said to him, you can watch an hour compilation, you'd only see like three black people in it.
Most of them are like the really middle-class white people, or they're going to be the really rednecky white people. And that's about it.
I think my theory was that a lot of American white teenagers are extremely bored and have nothing to do, so they all try and jump over a car and wonder why they broke their coughs.
Exactly.
I think when it comes to whenever, let's say, obviously we are kind of joking with this, whenever a black person, let's say, fails or hurts themselves, it's usually the case of it wasn't their fault, it just was an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never a black person going, I'm gonna jump over a car, or I'm gonna jump over a building. Yeah, I'm sure that people do that. But, and I kind of think that if that was to be recorded, they'd be like, no, don't even upload that, or I'll fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly.
I can kind of see that happening.
Yeah.
To some extent, but Yo Watch. Yo Okay Watch. Interesting. I think it's something to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know about in game wise, but I can kind of see it coming over here and becoming a thing.
Good pun, by the way.
What?
You okay? Watch. It's something you can watch. Yeah.
I'm on point today. My voice may not be, but I am. Speaking of who else is always on point, Daredevil.
Oh.
The Netflix series.
Are you sure he's always on point? I mean, 2003 wasn't a good year for him.
Well, almost always on point.
But yeah, the Netflix series is, I think it's out in America today.
Today being the 10th of April, in case anyone's wondering.
I think it's out America today. I'm not sure about UK, if it's out today or tomorrow or something.
But I'm sure most people who have an access to an American Netflix account are probably watching it already. Yeah,
exactly.
Which is really the smart thing to do, because England don't get nothing. But yeah, just rap about this for a sec, because I don't really know much about this series.
Well, basically, it's still part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's a lower down kind of urban vigilante, more realistic. And so far they've shown Matt Murdock, which is Daredevil. The actor, he looks fine for it. It seems well.
He looks like Daredevil.
They've shown his black kind of sweats vigilante outfit, which is, I think, from Daredevil Born Again comic. I can't remember exactly, don't quote that. And then they showed his red kind of battle devil suit. Yeah,
which this news pretty much just broke as today of recording, and I wasn't aware of it after like writing the podcast. And for the most part, the suit itself looks cool. I like it's got a little bit more of a battle kind of esque look to it, which also makes me think that, you know, the funny thing about this thing is for a guy who's just going to be fighting crime on the streets, he looks like he's ready to take on a war and possibly be in a group.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems to be almost uniform with the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's a sly way of just saying maybe.
Well, you have heard their plans for the TV stuff, right?
Aren't they going to combine everything in the TV universe, then everything in the movie universe?
I think so. They're combining all the TV ones, which would be Daredevil, Luke Cage, which is Power Man,
Yes.
Iron Fist, and aka Jessica Jones, and they're all street level vigilantes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to combine them all into a TV show called The Defenders, which would be basically crime fighters, very like low down, realistic.
Mm. It's interesting. I mean, I honestly don't really mind
Yeah.
the TV series, because I think this one it will be a lot better. So I think the guy who is directing it, I think he knows his shit.
Yeah, he really does seem to. He actually fought to make sure it wasn't a PG.
Which is good.
Yeah, because Daredevil can't be PG.
No. He really can't, because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like making a horror film of you. It's not gonna work.
Just making an attraction ride.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I don't think I'll be watching this series anytime soon, because I have like no real interest in anything that Marvel's doing right now, ever since Guardians came on the screen. But
well, I've bought Netflix and I'm going to be watching this.
well, I mean, maybe you can talk about this on the one of the future podcasts.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, it does get uploaded at in one session, right?
Yeah. Every episode just all up at once.
Which is interesting, but yeah, maybe in the future we can have a kind of talk about this.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking, well, let's stick on TV series and movies.
Okay.
We also have weirdly enough, this could be like a sub name for the podcast, Looks of Superheroes.
Oh, this
On
is
this,
Ace's mysterious enigmatic superhero reveals section.
I like that.
Patent pending.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we've been shown the Vision from Avengers 2, which basically means they've shown everything from Avengers 2 now.
Oh yeah, we've seen the film already.
Yeah.
It's just really whether you want to actually like see it with some popcorn now.
Yeah, see like where the scenes fit in together and what the full ending
the jigsaw
is.
puzzle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've already seen the ending, to be honest, in the trailer.
But they've shown the Vision, and it looks very close to its comic book roots, which I was surprised at. I didn't think they'd keep him purple-skinned and the full green outfit. So I'm waiting to see it on screen, see what it actually looks like with everything else.
Yeah, falls in line with everything else. I don't know whether he's gonna. I maybe a spoiler if I am right. He's gonna die at the end of this film.
I don't think so. I think he's going to join the Avengers.
I honestly don't see.
Because I think they're going to retire some of the Avengers. Because in the comics, see, I'm getting my nerd knowledge on here.
Mm-hmm.
They basically got rid of Iron Man and Thor and a bunch of others from the Avengers, so they could put Captain America leading Hawkeye, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and someone else who I can't remember. And it was basically a reshuffle, so they didn't have to continue using people. Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know about that. I think they have other plans.
Okay.
I mean, this is only just a prequel, so we still got like tons of prequels and prequel sequels to go.
Yeah.
Until we like finally understand what's going on with this universe. I think it might be building up to Civil War. I say might because I'm pretty sure they're going to go, no, we're going to do Invasion of the Skrulls. That's what we're really building up to.
Are we sure that's not what Fan Four Stick is doing?
I hardly doubt it, because no one with any kind of creative mind is working on that film.
Okay.
But yeah, Fan Fantastic, they actually decided to show off, I guess, one of their CGI characters.
Yeah.
Being the Thing.
Yeah.
And he looks like the Thing.
Yeah, he looks... There's nothing there to
Nothing
me.
special other than the fact that he doesn't have eyes. So
He doesn't... I didn't even see that.
They're shadowed.
Oh, okay.
So he's just rocks, basically. Nothing
special.
special.
I've got the Thing in my garden then.
Basically, I think we all have a thing.
Sorry. No, yeah. Never mind.
What are you laughing about? You're laughing about my things right here. But yeah.
I'm so immature.
Yeah. And moving on, we gotta look at Ryan Reynolds in his
yes.
Deadpool outfit.
Yeah.
Pretty much reenacting that scene from the other image of him on the bearskin rug.
Oh yeah.
Is
this the have you seen? Are we talking about the Deadpool where he's sitting on the toilet?
No, I'm talking about the one
Okay.
where he's kind of just relaxed, kind of like
Yeah.
paint me like one of your French girls.
Oh,
looking.
that's actually based off a picture of, I forget his name. He was in Friends and Miami something. It was a TV show in the 70s, like a cop show.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's based off a photo of that guy who was naked.
Right.
But yeah, they actually showed another Deadpool picture, which is Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool suit sitting on the toilet reading the latest Deadpool comic, because Deadpool gets killed in the Marvel comics because Disney don't own the Deadpool rights.
Oh yeah, but I'll get back soon.
Yeah.
Soon enough. Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I think no one cares what Fox. No one really cares about Fox right now. I think
No.
it's more just this film and the fact that
Yeah.
they've actually got, once again, more competent people working on this film, and Ryan Reynolds seems like he's going to be putting in all his energy into this film.
Yes, when Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool in the X-Men Origins thingy,
Yeah.
I thought that was a perfect choice. And then I saw what they did with him, and I was so confused.
No joke, I didn't actually know that was Deadpool.
Yeah, I didn't until they said Deadpool.
No,
And I was
even
like,
when they said Deadpool, I was like, oh, I get it. They gave him a code name like the other Marvel character. It wasn't until my friend said, no, that's actually Deadpool, and I was like, what?
Wow.
Because I thought that it was going to be the case of something like the real Deadpool was going to come up and show up.
Yeah.
I was like so confused and somewhat appalled by not the performance, but the just what they did.
Yeah.
Just not understanding anything really.
But I think Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is going to be good. It's going to work, and it's an 18, is it? Or R rating? Or...
R-rated means 18, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should actually work for very much to their favour.
It should do, because it makes sense, because Deadpool really needs to have fun in this film, and I think that's something they're going to do. I can expect to see... This film is going to be... I think... Hopefully people don't get the wrong impression. This film is going to be way better than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film produced by Michael Bay.
Oh,
because that
yeah.
film tried to be fun in certain areas and then tried to just flaunt Megan Fox. I think this
Yeah.
film is going to be just hopefully a ton of fun, really.
Yeah, it should actually be an enjoyable, light-hearted, despite being an R-rated.
Yes. I mean, there is leaked footage out there that you can have a look at. I think it's the test trailer and the test footage.
Oh yeah, of the car scene, as I call it.
Yes,
yeah,
that
that
scene.
was good.
If you look that up, that couldn't give us a pretty good idea of what we may see in the film.
Yeah.
We got one last segment on this mini segment of yours. Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg recently shaved his head off in just general protests over. No, I'm joking. So
I
basically,
thought this was like for a charity thing, and then I remembered he's Lex Luthor.
he was going bald for Bieber.
Yeah, bald for Bieber. New hashtag out there, please.
Oh god, no, that's old. That's fairly old. It's happened. It really happened.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was a prank.
I'm so out of touch.
It was a prank where a couple girls tried to get girls to like shave their head because Justin Bieber. It was a fake story that Justin Bieber had cancer or something like that.
So they'll do the cut for Bieber, but they won't go bald for Bieber.
Cut.
Yeah,
And slit the wrist.
people, lots of people. They posted the pictures.
Oh, I'm surprised One Direction hasn't done that.
Oh,
yet.
yeah, they have. They've done cut for Zayn because the guy left.
Did he?
Yeah. I think he's called Zayn Malik. He left One Direction, and all of the fans are cutting themselves and putting pictures on Twitter of their slit wrists.
No, it's not as bad because I remember when Take That broke up.
Yeah.
They actually had to open up a suicide hotline just for people.
Well, a lot of people called in not to go to work. Like 60% of people who worked in a certain area called in because they couldn't handle the
Was it
emotion.
Chef City?
I don't know. I think it was in France. I could be wrong, but yeah, it was like so emotionally unstable because One Direction member left.
Because of fictional like reality stars.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about like pop stars or bands in Japan, because they have like tons of them, they have hundreds of them, is they're not allowed to have relationships or be seen in relationships, mainly because I think it's under their contract, because that would break the immersion that one day the fans could be with them.
Yeah, exactly. I actually read about that.
Which is a fairly creepy concept, even if you would just take it out of the Japanese context, but
So, I watched this small documentary because when you were telling me about this, I found it interesting.
yeah.
One of them, when she was caught
Oh yes.
with a guy from another boy band,
Mm.
she ended up having to post an apology video and shaved all of her hair off,
Yeah.
which kind of takes us back to Jesse Eisenberg.
And I believe, yeah. I mean, just quickly, I mean, that band has like about like 20 something members in it, or 60
I think
members
it's
in it.
150 members.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
yeah, back to Jesse Eisenberg. He shaved his head because he's Lex Luthor, because we can never have an adaptation if Lex Luthor doesn't have a shaved head for some reason.
Oh, what about in Superman 1979? You know, he wore a wig and I didn't care.
Yeah, but that
it
was a wig.
I still didn't care. I still thought he was more Lex Luthor than anyone else, even when I thought it was hair.
I generally just don't care about this film.
No.
Really, and I just can't muster any information. They can fucking slap Rocket Raccoon in this film. I just don't give a shit about this film. I mean,
No. And they announced, I think, another villain for the Suicide Squad movie, Plastique. So there's
what
another.
the fuck is that?
I don't know, but they've got an Asian woman to play the character. I don't know who she is, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not sure about this villain.
Who was that cool character I wanted to be in the DC universe? He was like a cat, like a
Wildcat.
wildcat.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Where the fuck's my Wildcat film?
He's probably.
That would be fantastic.
If they made a Justice Society, then he should be in it, but they won't do that because no one knows who they are.
No one knows who they are, and there's not enough money to be made.
Despite them appearing in Smallville, and everyone loved those episodes.
The episodes where Lex Luthor doesn't draw for the kryptonite.
Yeah. The oh no, Superman's not gonna make it because we got a kryptonite watch somehow from this random crazy
I
man.
think people are never gonna let that go.
I will never let that go.
Good. Stupid. Speaking of stupid things, Jay-Z.
Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Jay-Z, Jigga Man himself. That's his like other rapper name. In case you're wondering,
I've never even heard of that.
yeah, Jigga Man.
Okay.
That's what it's actually called. In case people didn't know, which I imagine there was a lot. Jay-Z is going to be releasing a music streaming service. That's the story right there. That's it. I don't even need to go any further. Really don't.
I don't get it. Why?
I think that's the discussion. Really, is like what?
When I heard about this, I was so confused, and now it's so stupid.
It is fairly confusing. Just to catch people up real quick, I believe it was a couple of years ago, Jay-Z acquired another music streaming software, and as it's been going on, he's pretty much branded it to be this new fandangled, very different, and run by the artists streaming system under the name Tidal. And what's most interesting? Let's get the funnier things out the way before we get into the real chat. Is
Okay.
They had this this weird like press conference where they had this random woman just kind of talk about how this is going to be some kind of big deal, despite the fact it's not as if we don't have music streaming services already.
Like
with
Spotify.
Spotify pretty much dominating, unfortunately, most of the music market.
Yeah.
And they eventually then proceed to bring on your favorite artists such as Nicki Minaj, Alicia Keys, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Kanye West, Calvin Harris, that guy from Coldplay. No, that was too.
No, that was good.
That's too funny. And then really odd artists that really shouldn't be here, like Jack White and Daft Punk
And Deadmau5 for some reason.
It was very awkward and very confusing because it didn't look like it was planned, because I remember it was kind of like they said one of the artists' names and then it took them a while to get on stage.
Yeah, they were really taking their time. Some of them just came on instantly, so I assume they were all just standing there.
Yeah.
But it makes me think they're all just backstage drinking, and then they heard them and was like, "Oh, damn it, I've got to be out there."
Yeah, I think Nicki Minaj like she just got out of the shower.
Yeah, exactly.
The pink robe she was wearing looked like she just kind of put on a bra and was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
But
I mean, sometimes I weren't even sure if that was actually deadmau5 or Daft Punk. They just dressed people up.
Maybe they could do.
Because, yeah.
deadmau5 is a fairly skinny guy, so I can tell it's him.
Yeah.
Daft Punk, it's always a little harder. Daft and Punk, it's always a little harder to tell. But, yeah, so then they proceed to, for whatever reason, write on a piece of paper some kind of declaration about...
Charles Foster Kane's Declaration of Principles.
I guess. And then proceed to talk about how good the system is, despite the fact it is, they didn't really say much from what I've been gathered and from any of it.
But it's got lossless audio.
Lossless audio, which is, I think, the only thing that seems to be coming through with this press conference, which, for anyone who, knows about music audio, I mean, that's not me or Ace here. I've spoken to people, and there are people who seem to make a bigger deal. I'm basically saying this is nothing special, because even with this lossless audio quality, and depending on what they are going to be outputting, this is nothing special compared to Spotify. This is just glorified, come over here, we got the music stars, I guess, running the software.
It seems really superfluous. Like, there's no reason this should exist.
There's nothing wrong with competition if it's competition.
Yeah, but it's like they're trying to say they're the only thing of it existing.
Yeah, and their whole sense to try and make a statement out of, like, music. Well, it's kind of like about 80% of those artists don't even make good music. Even Kanye West and Jay-Z, back in their prime, were really good artists, and they've kind of lost their way now.
Yeah.
Magic Carter, Holy Grail was a pretty piss-poor album for Jay-Z, and I have no idea what Kanye West is doing right now, music-wise.
Out of all of those artists, the only people I've listened to recently, like, for me, is Daft Punk and one or two songs from Jack White, and even those are kind of bad at the moment.
Yeah, Jack White's okay.
Yeah.
He's the White Stripes guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, just to double check.
Yeah.
What White Stripes had some good albums. Isn't it the first three albums?
Yeah, the first three are good.
Albums, and then it's like, avoid that and then listen to the good Jack White songs.
Yeah, every once in a while there's a good one. It's just getting through them.
Is he like Bruno Mars, where like Bruno Mars releases a good song and then he releases a bad one just to kind of even it out for some reason?
I wouldn't know. I don't listen to Bruno Mars.
Well, that's what he does. He has some good songs.
I know he's on that Uptown Funk song, but that's it.
I've never heard that song.
Really?
No.
If you go on Tumblr, it's like in your face every second.
I haven't been on Tumblr in like a couple of days.
Okay, yeah, it's someone called Mark Ronson, and it's got Bruno Mars. I think it's Bruno Mars. I could be really wrong here.
Oh yeah, Mark Robson. Yeah, he's producer.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a very catchy song. It's not really my style, but yeah.
Don't let it get to you.
Yeah,
that's what you gotta do.
It's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we mainly discuss this because we thought it was very funny, and it was just like I said before. There doesn't seem to be any real difference or kind of any competition coming from this, because it seems very pointless, other than the fact that, hey, look, we've got a couple famous people you like, and it's not. And if you really think about it, some of these people aren't even the biggest stars in music right now.
Yeah, even like the bad ones that are considered big. Like Iggy Azalea and Macklemore and stuff like that.
Iggy Azalea, Macklemore, Taylor Swift, Avicii.
I don't even know that one.
Hozier.
Oh yeah. I don't mind Hozier. Some songs are okay.
The guy can sing.
Yeah, he can.
The guy can sing, and he deserves good things.
Yeah.
But they really should have like grabbed some more of these people, or at least more relevant people, if they want to make this a bigger deal. Maybe it's I mean, they had Madonna there.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
And I mean, I guess she's the biggest female star of all time. I guess.
But I haven't heard anything from her, and maybe I just haven't been noticing.
I think she has a new album coming out. I think it's already out.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's just kind of like, no, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This might be something to watch, but I don't see it sticking around.
That's it. I think us talking about this seems to be the most I'm going to care about this.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to, let's see, one of those artists.
Yeah.
And not unless they release an exclusive album over there, I'm going to care about this, and then I'm going to go straight to Google and say, where's the link to it? Because
I could probably find that for you.
Yeah, because I'm not paying like what £20 a month just to hear one Daft Punk song.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even listen to any of them regularly.
No, I know of them, and a lot of them do stupid shit, so they usually end up popping up on the news.
Yeah,
but it is a real shame to it is a real shame that this it is a real shame to see that this is going to fall flat.
Yeah, because it just means Spotify is going to solidify itself.
And we are not pro Spotify enough to touch it. We don't use it. We don't use it
at all. I didn't even know if it was free or if it costs and there's ads on.
It's free. It's free with ads, but it's we don't really care. No. We do like our music, but this is just something that we thought was worth highlighting and letting people know. The only thing that I guess is to be concerned is whether there's going to be exclusive content on this software, and if there is, they're going to be fucking over their fans.
Exactly.
Simply as. Which is not good, especially if it's regarding someone like Daft Punk.
Yeah, I just don't understand why it's been there at all.
Something that should have been here this whole time. The X-Files.
Oh, yeah.
The X-Files is reportedly going to be coming back, I believe, to Netflix, or I believe to a network.
Yeah, it was. It's one of the streaming services, isn't it? There's like 1 billion out now.
No, there's only like 10.
That's instantly 1 billion because there's too many to count.
Oh yeah, shit, that's right. I'm on the internet.
Exactly.
Alright. Yeah, but the X-Files is returning, and I honestly can't really talk too much about the X-Files because I never really watched it.
I think I watched 2 episodes, and one of the episodes I watched I really liked, and then I realised, hey, that's Jack Black. Yeah, it was very. It was very interesting. It's basically I saw it as like it's old kind of Star Trek, but on Earth in a way. Very much. There's this weird problem. We're going to investigate it. Hey, we found out what it is. Resolution. Like, not really too much variation.
It's the second monster of the week next to Scooby-Doo.
Kind of, in a way. Yeah.
Which I always think is pretty interesting. But I mean, I'm kind of glad to have the series come back because I think with how things have advanced in media and filmmaking and monster I guess makeup. Yeah. We could get a potentially much scary and interesting show because I only ever remember watching the opening for the X-Files and being terrified.
Oh, I love that opening.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's got a very nice tune.
Yes, it's like a weird alternate version of Doctor Who's opening theme.
It really is.
All crossover.
Yeah.
And that's a crossover that would actually make sense.
And it'd actually be something fans would like.
I think they would, because...
You could see, like, the Doctor and his companion, and then Mulder and Scully.
No, make Mulder and Scully his companions and give them screwdrivers.
Sonic screwdrivers.
So, yeah.
Okay. I could see that.
That would make sense. Oh my god, we're just giving Hollywood ideas right here.
Patent pending, we've got to, like, protect this.
Yeah, shame no one listens.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are happy to see it. I'm gonna try and like maybe watch some of the better episodes. I think people have already put lists on some of the better episodes of X-Files, and I believe there is a pretty good game on the PS2 that people should go look up. But yeah.
Speaking of these kind of shows coming back, you heard about Twin Peaks season 3?
Yes.
Yeah. David Lynch, the director of it, is kind of leaving. Because he wants more money. Yeah. And there's a whole hashtag thing going on where all the cast...
Is it hashtag show me the money?
No, it's hashtag no Lynch, no show. Because all the cast people don't want to do the show unless David Lynch is directing it.
Well, yeah, they kind of want the master there. I mean, whether David Lynch has the right to demand money or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you know who David Lynch is...
Yeah.
The guy's done some good.
He has.
And this is news to me, and I think it's fairly interesting. I've not watched Twin Peaks.
I am an adamant fan of it. It's one of the best surrealist. I mean, if you like the Deadly Premonition game, oh boy, you will love that show.
Yeah, anyone who's played that game.
Yeah. Like, whether you love it or hate it, like, I think the game is terrible, but I love it. And it completely rips off the show. It doesn't even bother in trying to be different. It just rips it off. And it does it brilliantly.
In its own way, in some sense. It has its own charm.
It unabashedly does it, but they're both very distinctive still, somehow. So I'd recommend watching season 1 and 2 of Twin Peaks.
I always get that mixed up with 6 Feet Under.
Is 6 Feet Under the one where she touched... No, that's Pushing Up Daisies. I forgot about that, yeah. I don't know what 6 Feet Under is.
It's a show about the Grim Reaper.
Okay, no, I haven't heard of that.
Moving to our last and somewhat sad story. This is fairly breaking news. It seems that over at Fox, they won't be releasing, what is it, the 18th and 19th season of The Simpsons on DVD and distribution.
Yeah. Or any more after 20 as well.
And so let me get this straight. So they won't be releasing 18 and 19.
Yeah.
But they will be releasing 20 and then nothing else?
Well, from what I've heard, or at least in America, 20 is out. I could be wrong there. But they skipped straight from 17 to 20.
So 17 was the last season we got in this country.
Yeah.
I've actually watched it. It's not a very good season.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand this because they've been releasing the seasons for a good couple years now, and it's been a little bit of a tradition for me to always get them because they usually were released around about Christmas time.
Yeah, they were.
Or something like that, and it was always like, oh, Mom, got to me the season, season 20 of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And for them to just flat out be, nah, can't be bothered anymore, or whatever this reason is.
From what I've heard is, what Al Jean, one of the creators, said, is that people don't buy DVDs anymore.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, I'm still a big fan. I prefer physical copies of things, so I always buy DVDs of what I love. And I think another thing he said, which I'm not sure where this is coming from and stuff, but all the DVDs being made and stuff is harmful to the environment.
Well, no shit.
Yeah. So that was kind of confusing.
That sounds like some PR bullshit.
Yeah,
right there.
something that Fox told him to say to make it seem like it's a good thing they're not being made.
To make it sound like it's a good thing they're saving a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Just so they can pour more money into making the series.
Yeah. And what he did say is that they will be digitally distributed.
I actually don't think they will.
See, I kind of hope they will because at least they've still allowed the fans to see the show.
And the reason why I don't think they're going to is because Fox is one of the only companies not to have a streaming service and not to specifically want any of their stuff owned by any single other person. In that sense that they're saying, oh no, you can't have the DVDs and it's not on Netflix. You have to come straight to Fox and watch the show. That means you have to buy the cable, pay the money, pay Time Warner to watch the series. By pretty much cancelling any other means of anyone having access of this show, that means they get 100% of the profit. They don't have to pay no one to do the artwork, they have to pay no one to make the DVD, or the distributors.
Well, fuck you, Fox.
That's what I've been saying for a while now, anyway.
Yeah, it's just making me lose complete interest in anything to do with Fox.
Anything by Fox.
Well, Simpsons.
Yeah, I think after season 12, then it's just like,
yeah, I actually stopped collecting the DVDs at season 11, funny enough.
I should have stopped then, but, oh no, season 12's alright.
Yeah.
But, I think season 16 has some good episodes in it, and season 17 is just, it's just, you just watch it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get it because you've got the rest.
Yeah, but it's best I'll probably stop at 18.
Yeah.
Or I guess in this case I'll stop at 17.
Yeah, and then don't get 20 because it'd be pointless.
Yeah, it pretty much would be. But yeah, we're gonna end the some of the topics somewhat of a bullshit and sad note to kind of almost jump into some really weird news for one of our main segments and topics, and that is the fact that Warner Brothers has picked up the rights to to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Now, this is not an April Fool's joke, which I think would have been perfect for April Fool's Day.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
This is just truly baffling, and for someone who actually really likes the idea of the games and the concept, this doesn't actually make me angry or anything like that, or make me happy. It just confuses me.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling of what's the point in this. Like, one of the things that makes it so great is its very subtle storytelling.
Yes.
I mean, besides the obvious of the gameplay, there isn't much story there unless you actually seek it out. And
here's one of the issues you just kind of mentioned on. How do you incorporate the gameplay of Five Nights at Freddy's into a film?
You have the man probably walking around investigating murders, and then boo, the monster jumps out.
Do you think this is going to be jump scare city? Do you think?
Yeah, of course it will.
I understand the game is filled with jump scares.
Yeah, but
the main concept of the game is you get past the jump scares, and it's not the jump scares you fear; it's the fact of losing that you fear the most.
Yes.
You know, a jump scare can still scare you, but I think the idea of not making it through the night is what's really scary.
Yeah, the whole thing's going to be, boo, I popped out a corner, boo, I'm behind you, boo, hey look, I'm next to the door.
Like just speaking more about how this film is going to go down, I know the guy has said how he thinks it's a brilliant idea, it takes, it has a cool concept, and the thing about the setup, the place, the animatronics and the ideas behind it is brilliant. It's a breath of fresh air in just media in general. It's not been done before.
No, it
simply
really
put, it's not been done before, not unless someone can bring up any examples of that in game form.
But I played Chuck E. Cheese Adventure number 52.
Yeah, it doesn't count. And I before I kind of talk about what I would want for this film, is I think I really don't understand why Warner Bros. Has acquired this video game franchise out of all the other video game franchises. Five Nights at Freddy's isn't even really that popular.
Well, it's because it's doing the whole, DC stuff. It's like, well, this is a product lots of fan people like, so if we just throw it out there, they'll love it no matter what.
People won't. No one wanted a film.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing. No one wanted that Superman film. But they made it.
People wanted a Superman versus Batman film just so they can tell Batman fans that Superman can beat Batman.
I'm not talking about that film. I'm talking about the untitled Superman one, Man of Steel. No one wanted that.
No, I don't think... No, I think people didn't want Zack Snyder on it.
I didn't want that film at all. It was...
I wanted a good film, but I didn't get it.
Yeah. But it's literally... I bet for Five Nights at Freddy's, there's going to be a man in a purple suit. They will actually put a man... Or it'll be a purple jumpsuit or something. They will actually do that.
You don't have purple jumpsuits, you have purple hoodies.
Exactly.
I'll play the fucking purple man. I got a purple hoodie.
We can both do this. I've got one too.
Oh, we're going to have to make a fan film.
Exactly. It'll be Purple Man Adventures.
I really don't like the sound of that. I mean, I generally just don't like where this is coming from, because I have a really bad feeling that when this film is somewhat shown or announced in some kind of trailer or poster sense, it's going to be called Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
In the sense of the next film being called Second Night at Freddy, and then Five Nights at Freddy's Part 1.
Just because of that, it ends up sounding like Weekend at Bernie's.
No, unless that's what they're going for, which...
So he's going to carry around an animatronic and pretend it's alive?
Maybe. I really don't... I honestly don't see anyone who is good at media attaching themselves to this project.
I really can't see how they'll make this a film.
It makes no sense. All three games can be beaten in less than 2 hours.
Yeah, but even if they try and do they'll clearly have backstory. They'll have stuff set during the day where people are being served food.
Yeah, but who wants to see that?
Exactly.
Once you introduce the concept of animatronics that can kill you, who is then going to want to see, oh hey John, have you got that paperwork done for me? Nah, I was just too busy fixing the balloons in the gym.
I was fixing Foxy.
Alright, man.
And then it bit me, and it was, It
bit me back in 1987.
Exactly. I wonder if this will be a famous thing called the Bite of 87.
They still ain't confirmed who did that, funny enough.
Yeah.
And that's one of the great things about the game.
Oh,
We
please.
don't know.
Nothing is sacred to these people. They will show that. They will make it an official, no, it was this character. They will do it.
It's generally retarded, and I was kind of thinking to myself, there's only two things that can make this film actually worth seeing and actually show some sense of, hey, people actually want to make something good or have a good idea or whatever. And that was and number one, if this film is animated.
Okay.
If this comes out and this is going to be a really dark, Don Bluth-esque style animated film for children in the vein of, let's say, Monster House or Gremlins, fine. If you can pull that off, well done to you. Second of all, the only way this is going to work in a live-action sense is if you actually have people in the animatronic outfits. Put people in them.
It'll be CGI.
I know it's going to be CGI.
But I just had the worst thought. I know what they're going to do.
What?
Just to make it that more scarier, quote marks, unquote, they're going to have it as found footage.
They probably will.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they've looked at it, because I don't believe Warner Brothers owns the right for Rec or Cloverfield.
Oh, yeah. Or Chronicles.
No, they don't own Chronicles neither. They don't own any found footage film.
Yeah. So they want their own because found footage is in. What if it's Five Nights at Freddy's 3D?
That'll be fucking retarded.
I wouldn't put it past
No, I'm
them.
really pissed off that you just mentioned that now. I'm not angry at you, I'm angry at that concept.
Five Nights at Freddy's 3D, the found footage movie for all the fans. Asterisks.
There's a really good film that was very underrated that came out, and it was a stupid horror film, and I'm just kind of trying to find the name of it, and I mean it was under the name Black Sheep.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen this film, but this film was fucking stupid.
Oh yes, I
But,
remember that.
It was essentially about a guy who was scared of sheep.
Yeah.
And during the full moon, they become possessed, kind of like.
And he uses
monsters.
mint sauce at one point.
And if you've actually seen what the creatures look like, they're actually, for most of the time, they're actually real.
Yeah, and they were really creepy.
Yeah, they're incredibly creepy looking, and it does kind of make, because sheep are creepy anyway.
Yeah, they kind of are.
They and especially when they're walking on two legs and shit.
Or driving a car.
Or driving a car, that's incredibly awesome. If they were to do, I applaud anyone to look up just some of the making of Black Sheep, and if they were to do something like that for the animatronics, even if it is a person in a costume.
Yeah, like C-3PO suit, where it looked weird movement.
Yeah, I mean, and it would also make sense
if
they're going to be really creative if they were going to incorporate Springtrap.
Okay. What about, they'll try and shove every single one in, even if it won't make sense.
Then it won't make sense.
Exactly.
Simply put. I mean, and who is this film for?
No.
Sure as hell ain't for the fans.
No, I can't think of anyone.
They want another franchise, and they want horror films. Warner Brothers don't really make horror films.
No.
And the fact that Warner Brothers is looking for new ideas when they fucking own the Looney Tunes is just the dumbest thing in the world.
Well, don't forget, don't they own Harry Potter?
No, just the movie rights.
Yeah, they own the movie rights to Harry Potter. They want to remake it. You know it.
Of course they do. They funny enough, Warner Brothers aren't terribly stupid, but they know they can't.
Yeah.
Hence why they keep looking at J.K. Rowling stuff and going, have you made something Harry Potter related? And she's like, no.
Well, she has now, and they're going to make a film on it. 3 films.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like a script or something like that?
No, it's
going to be 3 films.
It's like a really small book that I've got at home. It's like, you can't see it on the mic, but...
Yeah, I was about to say.
You see the bar which says how long the video is? It's about that thick. It's not a long book.
No.
That's going to be 3 films or 2 films or something.
But I have the idea that they basically looked at the Hobbit trilogy and went, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I honestly don't want to dawdle on this topic too much, because I'm going to be bold here, and if Warner Brothers is listening here, and I'll be frank here, I'll direct the film.
Yeah, I'll help. I can be a writer for
Seriously. seriously, Warner Brothers, I will direct the film.
Yeah, I will write it for you.
Because you can't ruin another cool idea.
No.
You've already pretty much shat on the whole DC universe to some extent.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do anything with the Looney Tunes or Hanna-Barbera or anything of any interest. You could make a wacky racist film.
Yeah, why haven't they?
Because they're stupid. I believe they are going to, but they're too busy trying to make a Hong Kong Phooey live action film where he's a CGI cartoon. And first of all, the Hong Kong Phooey has not aged well because the cat talks like Fu Manchu style.
Yeah, it's the really stereotypical offensive style.
Almost as bad as the Siamese cats from Lady and the Tramp, but not as bad.
Or I can't remember the actor's name from 16 Candles. Is it Mickey Rooney or?
I don't know.
Okay, it's like a John Hughes movie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a very stereotypical Asian character in there. Oh no, it's not. It's an actual Asian actor, I think.
But doing a racist accent or something?
Yeah, like they wanted him to overplay the race character.
Alright. Okay then.
Yeah.
Oh dear, this Five Nights at Freddy's film, I think it could only really be a parody maybe.
Yeah.
If they take this film way too seriously, and first of all, here's a pro tip for you, Warner Brothers, if you're actually going to go through with this film. If you want this film to even be seen by anyone who knows anything about the game, you will put Foxy in the game.
Yeah, put Foxy in there. Even if it's just a little bit of, you can see it in the trailer.
That's all I'm going to say, because if you do not put Foxy in this game, you have lost the audience completely.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to more interesting and better topics, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct of April Fool's Day, which Nintendo dropped a shit ton of stuff. They were like, "Here you go, motherfuckers," and they basically dropped a bunch of information, which they didn't really confirm too many games. There was a couple indie games out there which they kind of dropped and kind of teased, but I mean, unfortunately, I don't think a shit ton of people really want to see that to some extent. They're more interested in the I wouldn't say the franchises they like and know, but I guess just the things that we know about already, and they're just kind of like, yeah, that's still happening, which is obviously good to know.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think we're just gonna kind of talk about the noteworthy things instead of going on a track about every single thing they list, because I don't think everyone is really interested in every single thing. So the first thing we have is talking with Mario Kart DLC. We have the villager Isabelle, which is the little yellow dog, who is, I don't know if she's technically little because they're all the same size in that world.
I'm not too good with that game, so I don't know anything about the characters.
You should have the villager or mare, depending on how you're gonna, I guess, put it to some extent. And you also have, I forget who the other two characters are, but I believe one of them is like a Dry Bowser or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or something. But the packs, we are getting Animal Crossing courses, which look very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice to see. They're just very relaxed. Very relaxed, and that was nice to see. And we're getting them early. We're getting them this month.
Oh, wow, that's actually pretty quick.
Yeah, they were originally going to be getting the end of this month, but we're now getting them later this month. And also we're getting what's more interesting, 200cc mode in Mario Kart, which is like, good lord. Yeah, just the general. I mean, they've released a trailer.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. That
of this now,
me.
And the match lasts about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It is interesting because now you can pull off like drifts and boosts and jumps, and you can just skip half the course. And it's,
exactly.
It's pretty funny. I can definitely see this being like maybe the pro.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Pro circuit.
Pro circuit for I guess the people who consider themselves the best. Boy, there isn't really a best player in Mario Kart. It's really just luck.
You're completely negating me here. I'm clearly the best.
You want to throw down now?
No, actually.
Okay, that's what I thought. Speaking on news, I was a little bit more interested here is the Fire Emblem, the new one, which we don't, which I hope is still just going to be for the 3DS. That got a trailer. Going into more details and also giving off the name, and I don't know how the name is said, but I believe it is Hoshidi and Noah.
I don't know.
You can find the spelling of them, but I'm not 100% sure how you would say them. I'm pretty sure I could be saying them wrong, you could be saying them wrong, and they go, no, it's actually John and Clark, or whatever.
That'd be interesting.
But,
Fire Emblem John and Clark.
Yeah, they showed off the game, and there seems to be a picking sides kind of thing, which I thought was kind of cool. Especially as soon as it seems in the trailer this is going to have a big impact. It's just like, you either play one side and you play that side.
But yeah, didn't they say the thing for Japan that whatever side you pick in the main campaign, you stick with?
Yeah.
And then you can buy the other one on the side as DLC, but for everywhere else it's all in one.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That bit kind of confused me.
Japan does weird things, but I don't know what that's about. I hope it's just one package so I can have two playthroughs out of it. Still don't know who the main character is going to be. We keep seeing this, I believe, dancer, blue hair dance. I think she is of the dancer class. So if the main character is a, or if you do play as the dancer or whatever, that should be interesting. And but I think they will most likely go with the custom creator avatar.
Okay.
I think that would make the most amount of sense. But
because I still haven't played Awakening, so I don't know if you get a character or if you create one for them.
You need to jump on that.
Yeah, I really do.
You got a 3DS, come on. We also have the fact that the confirmation and the live footage that Shinigami Tensei versus Fire Emblem is actually still happening.
Yeah, I forgot about this until the other day.
This game was bloody confirmed when the Wii U came out.
Yeah.
And they've only just now decided to show something. Atlas got off their arse from not releasing games over in this country to actually produce a trailer for this game.
I think they were too busy adding the letter U into
most likely
all the dialogue.
They're most likely making Persona 5 just for Japan and then going, hey guys, do you know America exists? And they're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
It still exists.
Oh shit, we gotta do that. Just create some bullshit excuse as to why we still can't afford a publishing studio, despite the fact we're owned by Sega, who has like 3 publishing studios in this country. So I have no idea why they keep delaying games in this country and not releasing physical games. When I went to fucking Japan and saw all the games they haven't released over here as physical copies.
Well, it's the UK, no one cares anymore.
Well, if they want to become irrelevant, that's fine, but just, you know, that's their choice. We also had Amiibo news.
Yeah, they've said about the Splatoon getting Amiibos.
Yes.
And it's a multi-pack.
Yes.
And then, was Gold Mario announced, or was that ages ago? I forgot.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. And they've announced the next series of Amiibo as well.
Yes, they've announced the next series of Amiibos, which I believe is going to be releasing fairly soon, despite the fact a lot of people just generally can't seem to find them anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that they really, really want, which is a real big shame because Nintendo has they've essentially hit on gold really with these Amiibos.
Yeah, they took the Skylanders wagon and they really rode it. I've seen Skylanders disappearing now, and Amiibo taking its place.
Yeah, I mean it does kind of make sense to some extent for Nintendo to do this because it's not as if they don't have characters that people want, and I guess it is nice to also have things officially produced by Nintendo for collection purposes, which is, you know, pretty damn nice.
And that it affects your game as well is also good.
Yeah, you know, I think it has more of an impact.
Yeah.
Compared to I think the Skylanders, because it's just kind of like, oh, you put your Skylander in and it's just like
yeah, you get the character.
Yeah, it has more effect, especially as soon as they seem to be having more purpose now as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good as well. And for whatever reason, I cannot bring up the list of the new Amiibos.
Oh,
because,
okay.
Well, I have it now, but it's like website. I'm not going to name this name's website because I don't want to give them shit. But it's not really cooperating. But from what I can see, the next wave that we'll be getting in May of the 29th is going to be Robin, Lucina, Wario, Pac-Man, Ness,
My homeboy.
your homeboy Charizard, Jigglypuff, and Greninja, and then we also have Dark Pit and Paulina.
Yeah.
Paulina coming in, and then we have Olimar, Bowser Jr., Dr. Mario, Zero Suit Samus, and Ganon to be followed by them much later in the 6th wave, as well as also having the yarn-made Yoshi amiibos.
I really thought that was an April Fool's.
I think most people did.
I still don't know. I still see nothing about it, so
It's
just
official.
assumed.
It's official.
Okay.
It's official. They're going to be having a Yoshi amiibo made completely of yarn with little the little technology for the amiibo just under his butt, obviously.
That's pretty cool.
Where you put it, and it's going to be a nice touch. I can see most people. I think most people are picking up this game anyway, but I think this is a nice added bonus and a general just nice thing to.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do a putty version of Kirby.
That's because I don't like Kirby.
Oh, no one likes Kirby.
That's just my theory. And also the NFC reader for anyone who hasn't picked up the new 3DS is going to be available for anyone who absolutely has to have Amiibo connectivity with their 3DS on certain games. So I'm guessing that's going to be for Xenoblade Chronicles when it releases, or
I forgot
what
about
else they have in the future.
I actually really want to pick that up.
What, Xenoblade Chronicles?
Yeah. So, I was first introduced because of Super Smash Bros. Like the new one.
I think a lot of people were. I always knew of the game and the character, and it was just a nice added bonus, and it makes sense to have him in there. But and kind of our last few topics as we're kind of going to round it up with Nintendo news is the fact that 2 DLC characters have been added to Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and Wii U, being Lucas from the Mother series. Let's just say Mother series. Yeah. Because
Motherbound series.
I don't know about the Mother series. And everyone's favourite Mewtwo. So many people are so butthurt over the fact he wasn't in there.
Of course,
so many people.
If Mewtwo's not there, then it's not good.
Oh yeah, obviously that's how it works.
That's why Mario Kart Double Dash is so good, because Mewtwo's in there.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually true. Mewtwo makes everything better.
Exactly.
Apparently. But yeah, they've been added into the game. Lucas seems to play just like how we did in Brawl. Yeah. And Mewtwo seems to play just as he normally did. I think they've given him a few new moves and
to vary him from Lucario. Lucario kind of took some of his moves.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of just made them to individual. And I think it's kind of nice to have the old school character back. Yeah. And I think probably the biggest news in our next main big talking segment is going to be the fact that Nintendo is giving us the power.
The power of, not Grayskull, of choosing who we want to be as DLC for Super Smash Bros.
4.
For
the 3DS.
Oh yeah. It's not got a name, so I just call it Super Smash Bros.
No, it's technically called 3DS and Wii U.
Super Smash Bros. 3DS and Super Smash Bros. Wii U.
Yes.
We get our DLC characters for Super Smash Bros. 3D. It sounds so annoying to say.
Well, that's probably why some people just call it Smash.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, just Super Smash Bros. Yeah, so we've kind of thought of who we'd want to be in this game.
Yeah, yes, we have. I mean, Nintendo is going to be leaving this open to, I believe, the end of the year or something like that. And
so we've got plenty of time.
And third-party characters, I think they're basically giving us the terrain of any character you want, we will try and get it if enough people want it. And in the description there will be a link to the voting poll, so you can go put down as many people as you want. Like no shit, you can put isn't just one. This is like if you want to put every single character you can think of, do it.
Vote for the triple team of Raccoon, Ferret, and Ace.
Oh, that'd be.
We'd be like Ice Climbers, but free.
That's true. That's true. And so I think one thing we thought was just fun to do is we were going to list off some of the characters we want to be in the game, and we will be voting for these characters. Hopefully there'll be people that you know and also want, and people maybe you don't know of. So I'm going to kind of hold the notebook close to my chest so you don't see.
Are we doing this turn by turn, or
yeah, sure, we can.
Okay.
Do you want to go first? Then?
Okay. Yeah. First, this is going to be third party. I think it counts as third party character.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Belmont from Castlevania.
Yes.
The classic Simon Belmont. Because, to be honest, I really can't see much gameplay like anyone's got that's similar to Simon Belmont. You could have
other than Zero Suit. Other than
yeah,
Zero
the kind
Suit
of
Samus
whip
is canon. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
And didn't someone else have some? Or am I thinking? No, I was completely thinking about Castlevania again, where you could like make the whip go wherever you want.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, you could give him the whip. Obviously, you can give him quite good like falling off the stage, catching back on.
Yeah,
that could work.
That
very
would
well.
make sense, and also he also has an arsenal of
crucifixes,
and stuff.
holy
Crucifixes,
water.
Medusa head.
Oh, yeah,
all
that'd
that
be
kind
cool.
of stuff. Yeah, the fact because he does at some
Yeah.
games he does have it, and he doesn't use it as a power. I definitely think that's a good pick, and I think
Yeah.
there is a good chance he could go in.
I
mean,
hope so.
Nintendo somewhat does. They own the rights to Simon Belmont, I do believe.
Oh, okay.
So there's always a chance that he
Yeah.
could go in. One of my picks is going to be Shantae from
Yes.
the Shantae series that originally debuted back on the Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
and it's since followed through on the Advance, SP, 3DS, and has a recent game being The Pirate's Curse
Yeah.
on 3DS, which you should all go download. And the next upcoming game for PS3 and 360 being Half Genie Hero coming out. Now, of all the people I think we're going to list, she has one of the bigger chances of going in.
Or at least we hope she does.
I hope she does, mainly because I have looked up and I believe Way Forward have actually spoken to Nintendo, and Nintendo are
good.
quite big fans of the character.
Oh, yes, please put her in.
So, and I think also Way Forward has been kind of has been pushing, oh, get her in the game. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously, any video game developer who has a character would
Yeah.
love to have their character in the game because it's good promotion,
Yeah.
and it's just fun. Realistically, it's just fun. So I think she has a good chance of going in. She's mainly fine with her hair. But I think she has a good chance of going in. I would not be surprised if she goes in.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't, but at the same time, I really hope she does.
Yeah, I really hope she does. It's it definitely bring her character to more people. So then the games,
bring her back into
they're really
stardom.
fun. They're
Yeah.
good games.
The team deserves it as well.
Yeah.
The people making that. I think what exists of Way Forward right now is a lot of it is good.
Yeah.
I think it's generally good from what we have from Way Forward. They haven't really produced a bad game in years, and as soon as I think that team is just doing what they want to do, they've been good.
Yeah. So for my next pick, I'm gonna say the best character in the world.
Mm-hmm.
One that everyone wants in a Super Smash Bros. Game, and you know it, even if you don't think you do. Master Chief. Yeah, I was waiting for that silence. No one wants him. I want Andy from Advance Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, that would actually be a really good character, and yet again, something that Nintendo seems to have forgotten about. Advance Wars.
Unfortunately, there have only been 3 Advance Wars games released in our country, and the Advance Wars series is fantastic, and I think just adding someone, even if it's just for the sake of remember this character, is awesome.
I mean, the reason I said Andy, he seems to be the most well-known character.
Yeah.
I think he's appeared in several of the games. I think
Yeah,
2 or 3 of them.
I think he does make a cameo in the one on the DS.
Yeah. So obviously he's being the most well-known. He's got a distinctive red colouring. It would visually work as well, and you could clearly see his whole squadron attacking as a final smash.
As a final smash, yeah. Something we haven't mentioned, how the final smashes would go.
Yeah.
I think with Shantae, she would have to use her genie lamp and just kind of suck everyone into it and just spit them out or whatever. That's one of her moves.
I'm not sure for Simon Belmont. I think Dracula, but then it's like, no.
I watched some guy's video and he didn't mention Simon Belmont, and he said, well, in order for him to be in it, you might have to add Dracula in some sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. His smash would obviously be his squadron car or the iconic tank.
Yeah.
I also think that
I thought that like his tank could be kind of like a Wario like motorbike kind of thing.
possibly they reshape it up.
Yeah.
My next one I think is a fairly obvious one, but should have been really in there,
Okay.
and that is Bayonetta.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Bayonetta, the witch herself, should really be in this game, mainly soon as Bayonetta seems to be, I think, the best game on the Wii U, and it just kind of makes sense soon as it really is a trophy that I think Nintendo deserves to kind of flag.
Yeah, because she's done a lot. She's very prominent at the moment for one, a female character, and two, being Nintendo related as well.
Yeah.
It's new as, like, technically a new IP in a way. I know it's second game out, but compared to some of their other stuff.
Still new, yes.
Yeah, it's very new.
She's one of the newer franchises out there, yeah.
And it's a very good franchise, as it is. So it'd be great to put her in the game.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I'm sure Platinum would like to make a Bayonetta 3, and I'm sure Nintendo would want more from Platinum, if not another Bayonetta 3, so I think it makes sense. Her Smash would be a little tricky, because there's a ton of things she can do, but I am somewhat worried about spoilers, and also the fact that for a lot of her special moves, she is basically naked, and she uses her hair to fight.
Yeah.
How they're going to do that, I'm not sure, but I can kind of see them doing something maybe fairly classy. I can kind of maybe see her doing something like, let's just say, a curtain comes over the stream, and she does maybe some suggestive changing of clothes.
It could be like
a
shadow, like through the curtains.
Yeah, I think if they did something comical with her, because I think she does lend herself to comedy a lot.
So no sexy jutsu.
What if she turned into a guy? Sexy jutsu is when you turn into the opposite gender.
No, it's obviously with Naruto, turned into opposite gender, but it was just the whole nakedness, etc.
She's technically naked all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there won't be none of that.
Alright, your next one.
Okay, so I didn't think too much about this.
Oh, I don't have too many, but yeah.
But this was one I saw on Twitter. And the idea of it, I thought, hey, that's great. And they even put a screenshot that they made themselves. And that'd be Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
The, I forget what the team is behind Super Meat.
Team Meat.
Team Meat. They actually did their own screenshot of Super Meat Boy versus Mega Man. And I thought it was brilliant. And I could see the character working very well.
He could, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Whether Nintendo would... I don't know. I think maybe the ethics of him, whether they'd want him in there or not, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I think he works well.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with that is Super Meat Boy doesn't have a lot of he doesn't really fight too much in his game, respectively.
But you could kind of say, like, I mean, Mario, he was kind of like that as well when he was put in the first game. There's not really much he does except for jump on people.
But he had an arsenal.
Yeah, he did, but obviously that was... They could add stuff.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say don't put him in there because he's never fought before.
Yeah.
Put him in there and think about it. I mean, they said Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And I mean, when Pac-Man was in the game, I was kind of like, how's he going to fight? Which Pac-Man is going to be? I was really afraid that it was going to be the new version of Pac-Man, but they were like, no, we're doing the 2003 look, which is kind of the standard one now. And I thought that was good. But yeah, I think he'd be good. I think Team Meat would definitely like that, especially soon as it's one of their more famous characters they've made so far. Exactly. I don't see. I mean, the only reason I wonder about the ethics is because Nintendo would not have the Binding of Isaac on their consoles, mainly because of the content of it. But I don't know. They could maybe make him look more meat than flesh, I guess.
Less blood as well.
Yeah.
Guess they could make it into grease.
They could. I mean, I'm pretty sure if they do put him in the game, Peter will have something to say. But, let's listen to
because
let's talk about that. My next one is another fairly iconic character, but I think he needs to be in this game mainly because he technically is in this game already, and that is Rayman.
Oh yeah, Rayman will work very well actually.
Yes,
because he's one of those that I thought, okay, if they're adding Mega Man and adding Pac-Man, why isn't Rayman in this?
Rayman may not have the legacy of those guys, but I think his impact is still pretty good.
Yeah.
There isn't really a bad Rayman game.
Yeah, I
not including the Raven Rabbits games, because those are not Rayman games.
No, I don't count that.
No, I don't count that because he's not in them.
Exactly. He's like there for half a second and then gone.
Yeah, because eventually it just became Raven Rabbits and that was it.
Yeah.
These things didn't even look like rabbits. But I think he would work in the game mainly because he just looks like he should be in the game.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I think Ubisoft should definitely consider, actually giving Nintendo the rights to have him in there because he's a cool character. The Rayman Origins and Legends series is an extremely underrated game for how good it was.
Yeah, it's one I've been wanting to pick up actually because it was
You can
probably
play it right now if you want to.
yeah, sure.
I got the game,
We'll just turn off the podcast. Come on, let's
Alright,
play some
podcast,
Rayman. Goodbye. Or free to say.
Yeah, no, we're joking. Maybe later. I think he works well mainly because he is iconic.
Yeah,
in
he
some
really
sense.
is.
He really is to a lot of gamers next to like Spyro and Crash. But
Yeah.
if Nintendo was to go after Spyro and Crash, for some reason they would not get the rights because
No.
Universal was like, no, there are franchises, you can't have them. What game are you working on next? Nothing. There are franchises, you can't have.
Well, isn't that what Capcom did and then Nintendo got Mega Man? Or did Capcom just forget he existed and they just got him anyway?
It's probably. I have no idea how the story of them acquiring Mega Man went, but I'm pretty sure it was kind of the case of, hey, Capcom, can we have Mega Man? Sure, we ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, probably. Which is a good thing because Nintendo did better with Mega Man in like 10 seconds than what Capcom did.
Yeah, that opening trailer was like more than Capcom was done with him in like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And I applaud everyone to go look at the reactions to that Mega Man being put in Smash.
You should have seen my reaction.
People crying over the super fighting robot.
I was going Rich Evans on that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, find my Mega Man toy. It's censored.
Fair enough. Alright, your next one, because I've still got quite a few.
Okay, my next... This is going to be the joke one that I saw...
I think we need joke characters.
Yeah.
I mean...
So, if any of you are big Nintendo fans, you would have played the Wii, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the beginning when it's showing you how to use your nunchucks and not hit the wall?
Mm-hmm.
I think that instruction person should be in the game. You got the Wii Fitness trainer, put that in.
That should be the Wii Fit trainer's rival.
Yeah. Who just like moves with the nunchucks and stuff and you'll knock people over.
I think that would be a brilliant joke if they actually incorporated that. Here's the even better idea. I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay.
If the instructional guy who told you not to knock things over was Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Oh, yes.
That was his main move set.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be brilliant.
That's what they should do. Combine two greats.
Yeah. And you could even have like alternate outfits and one would just be the plain instruction.
Yeah.
And the main one would be Reggie. That'd be great.
That'd be and then Iwata.
Oh, yeah.
And then Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yes.
Oh, get all of them in there.
I know, it'd be like another kind of like me character. But not. It'd be great.
The joke character.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to, I think Nintendo does have a sense of humor, and the one thing that Nintendo is doing right is they are really looking at themselves and going, shit, we've got a legacy.
Yeah.
And they're really kind of just going, we know people know Nintendo, we know they're hardcore fans, we know they're people who know how legendary they are. Yeah. And if they did something like that, it would just be so nice.
It'd be hilarious.
I mean, Sega did something very similar to that in Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed.
Yeah.
Where one of the unlockable characters is Ages.
Ages, okay.
Ages, which is obviously an anagram for Sega.
Yeah.
And what that character is essentially a playable version of all their controllers and systems.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
If Nintendo were to do something like that, that'd be great. How would the Smash go, though?
The Smash? Well, it'd come up on the screen, like the actual instruction thing, but all the characters would be like floating, and you just end up shaking, and it just smashes them all.
That'd be too funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it'd actually visualise like you're playing the Wii again.
That'd be great. Please plug in your nunchucks and put the plastic
Press
thing over
A to continue.
Oh, that'd be too funny. My next one probably makes the most amount of sense.
Okay.
Shovel Knight.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I think he definitely deserves to go in this game. Jock Club did a fantastic job with the game. And for that reason, I think he just lends himself well to the game.
Yeah, visually as well, he works perfectly.
Visually, combat-wise.
Yes. He's got lots he can do, so they've got a lot of moveset they can work with.
And he has a Nintendo system as well, so it helps as well. I mean, this... I really think he'd work, and I think he deserves to be in there, because I would hate to see a lot of people really played this game, and then for the
Yeah.
second one to come out and people not to give a damn about him
Yeah.
when he really deserves it. If not, I guess maybe one of the other characters like Plague Knight, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have another one?
I've got, like, this is kind of a one where I wouldn't mind either one of them,
Uh-huh.
but seeing as Mega Man's already in the game,
Mhm.
I would love it if Proto Man or Bass was in the game.
No,
Or
it's
do
Bass.
They pronounce it Bass?
No, I'm joking. That's what stupid people say.
Oh, okay.
No, Bass, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love it if Proto Man or Bass was in there, because it could be... I mean, everyone's always had their kind of rival character in the game.
Yeah.
Star Fox had Wolf, Link
Yeah,
had
the game.
Ganondorf. So it would work perfectly for him to have a rival character that plays not exactly similar.
Mm-hmm.
And they've both got their own kind of
Yeah.
final moveset, so bass and treble forming together for a final smash.
Possibly, yeah. Or any of the Maverick Hunters perhaps to
Yeah.
appear in that smash.
Like Boba Fett, or is he Jango Fett? I can't remember his name.
What does he look like?
He looks like Boba Fett, but purple. Vile. Is he called Vile?
Is he a bat?
No, he's like... He literally looks like Boba Fett, but he's purple.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember. They just put Wells McDuff in that game. You seen that character?
Yes, I have. Oh my god, Howard the Duck, put him in there. Put in Howard the Duck.
No, I don't really want him in that game
No.
for some reason. My next character.
Okay.
I'm picking some fairly obvious characters, but I think they make the most amount of sense. Beautiful Joe.
Yes, no, I actually have played the game, like the first one. I haven't played the second one, but damn, that could be perfect.
Yes.
Some of those, like, just some of the mechanics of the character itself would lend wonderfully to that.
Exactly. I think he makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And if they don't manage to get Beautiful Joe, give Wonder Red a
Yes.
Beautiful Joe skin. But I think Beautiful Joe would make sense, especially if his smash being like, controlling time, slowing it
Yeah.
down, film strip kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. And he is a born fighter. And I mean, I think Capcom unfortunately owns the rights to it, despite the fact
Yeah.
what would become Platinum basically made the game.
Yeah.
I would really love to see him in the game,
Yeah.
especially as soon as he just makes too much sense. It's always good to have a really good character from a really good game that's unfortunately forgotten be in there.
Yeah.
Any others?
What was it? Skull Kid from Zelda. I think...
With the mask.
Yes, with the
Okay.
mask, yeah. Has to be. I mean, to be honest, I can't even remember what he looks like without the mask.
This is Scarecrow.
Oh, yeah. Don't kill me, Zelda fans. But, yeah.
Well, they ain't listening.
Yeah, I really think Skull Kid should be in this. It's another one of those, because all everyone knows about Zelda, unless they're actual fans, is Link, who they think's called Zelda. You got Zelda, who's Princess, and Ganondorf, who's Pigman. And
Boar or something like that.
yeah, and Skull Kid is another one of those very famous ones, which would bring more interest. It's like, oh, this character's really oh, Zelda. I might play that.
What about the creepy mask salesman?
We don't talk about him.
Okay, sorry.
He haunts our dreams at night.
I do get so pissed.
No, like, I can't sleep now. You had to ruin this for me.
So the thing is only like 5 in the afternoon.
He watches. He knows.
If you say so.
He knows. So, Raccoon, have you got any more?
I've got, let's see, 3.5.
3.5.
Yes.
Okay.
No, sorry, 2.5.
Two.
Well, 2 and maybe a fourth. So
Yeah.
I have Bomberman.
Oh, yes. I actually completely forgot about
People
him.
have been asking for Bomberman to be in Smash Bros.
Yes.
Since like the second one, and they haven't not done it mainly because I believe Namco or something like that owns the rights, and they just won't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Definitely put him in there because he makes a lot of sense. He can definitely go up against Mega Man.
Yeah.
He is one of the classics out there, and he's somewhat forgotten in a sense.
Yeah, as I said, I forgot about him.
Yeah, his smash would need to be something like just a massive bomb or something like that, or he just makes a bomb and he just shakes
places
it.
bombs all across the screen, then you got the full explosions.
Possibly, I'd love to have him in the game.
Yeah.
My last 2, maybe 3, depending on how you want to consider it, are going to be characters which I don't think people really want in the game or know of.
Okay.
but I want them in there. So my one is going to be Cacolette / Bowelette. Yeah. This character is from the Super Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga RPG series on the Game Boy Advance.
I know who they are now.
Yeah. I really want these I really want this character, either Cacolette or Bowelette. I think Bowelette might need to be the final Smash or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really want this character in there because I think it's a fairly obscure character that just works.
Yeah.
In some sense. And it's just a cool design because, I mean, a lot of people, I know you were saying the other day that, like, people want Paper Mario in the series.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, they should really get someone else from the Mario series that deserves to be in it.
Yeah.
Cacolette is one of the better villains
So
the Mario series ever had.
a villain except for Bowser. Really? That
Well,
exists?
Well, yeah, in this series, Bowser's pretty much a joke.
That's actually brilliant.
Like, I mean, do you know what Bowelette looks like?
No. I have seen Cacolette before, but not Bowelette.
Oh, okay. Well, essentially she looks like this, which is a bit very odd looking.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting
Oh.
design.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyone just type in Bowelette and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah, it's actually very menacing.
Yeah. For some twist in the game.
Yeah.
My next one also comes from this series, and that is Forful.
Forful?
Forful, yes.
So you're bringing out some people I've never heard of.
I think most people have heard of this character. Lord Forful is pretty much a somewhat joke character and pretty much one of the masterminds behind the Mario and Luigi RPG series from the first all the way up to the fourth on the 3DS.
Yeah.
He's an idiot, but a genius at the same time.
Okay.
And he also has the brilliant phrase which needs to somehow be incorporated into his final Smash being I have fury.
That sounds brilliant.
Actually
brilliant.
I want this character in this game because he's a brilliant joke character, but also means serious business.
Yeah.
If he were to be incorporated in the series, and he's a bit of a shithead, and he has an interesting arc, starting from the first to the I guess the latest game, if you want to call it that. I'm not 100% sure if he is in the fourth game because I've not played it yet. But that is pretty much my list of characters I would love to go in, the characters I will be voting for.
I've got one more who I think everyone should vote, and if you do, I will give you all hugs. Eevee. Eevee is the best thing in the world. Like, yeah, we need Eevee in this, and I'm not being sarcastic. I want Eevee.
Fair enough.
Just have all of it in there. Get rid of characters that no one cares about, like Mario. Put in Flareon. Take away Luigi, put Espion. Like, just put them all in there. We just need an Eevee.
Say so. If you say so. I mean, I just also thought of another character as well, Sam and Max.
Oh yeah, Sam and Max would be good.
The white rabbit thing and the dog.
Yeah, trenchcoat dog. Inspector McGruff.
He's better than McGruff.
Yeah, he is.
Way better, and I think if they were a duo somehow that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, like Ice Climber style.
Maybe, but I guess they'd have... Well, I know Sam doesn't always use his gun.
Yeah.
But, they could just easily get rid of it. Yeah, I think that's our list. And moving on to one of our last topics on this podcast is going to be the news that we received over the week that Disney has planned to make a live-action Winnie the Pooh film.
Why?
You can't always groan on these topics. I know people at home are doing it, but...
it's... Why? I don't know.
That is the big question that I think most people are asking.
Will they have an actual yellow bear? Will they have a person in a costume?
That's the question, really. I mean, I would kind of like to see a 6-foot-tall yellow bear in a red shirt with a child.
Yeah, and it's not getting mauled at all, that child.
No. I mean, I think this is just using my cartoon knowledge. I think Winnie the Pooh is obviously, as a toy, smaller than Christopher Robin, but I think the only characters that are taller than him are Rabbit and Tigger.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how they're going to do most of these characters.
Well, you know what they're going to do.
I know it's going to be bullshit CGI.
Yeah.
Or best case scenario, just one random guy at a green screen.
What, and they
nothing.
just compose it after.
Possibly, yeah. It's going to be some kid just going, "Where you going, Pooh?" And it's like...
So you're going to have one kid actors who most of the time aren't good anyway, and then they're going to be talking to nothing. That's just going to make it worse.
One of the main problems I have is the fact that the original voice actors are still alive.
Seriously?
Yes.
Why don't they just do a cartoon movie again?
I don't know. They did a really good one a couple of years back, but I don't know. It seems that Disney's kind of lost their shit, and that's going to be a topic for another day because we're only going to report on this bullshit. But this is just really just fascinating to me because it's like you went from a film that has no humans in it to a film that has one human in it.
Yeah.
With very iconic characters, and in a scenario that doesn't even make any sense.
No, I just don't know.
Winnie the Pooh has some kind of popularity and it's just good. I mean, even the plot makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just one of those we're gonna have fun kind of things. Even the like depressing stuff is fun.
Yeah, this film is gonna be even more depressing than Eeyore.
Oh, my spirit animal.
Everyone loves that dude.
He's my spirit animal. I'm not kidding.
I always used to wonder why his tail came off, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, he's a toy.
Yeah.
I never used to get that.
I just thought it was part of him not caring about life, but the toy thing made more sense.
I'd like to see a pissed off rabbit though.
That'd be great.
He's gonna be pissed off for most of that film. I know he's generally annoyed most of the time, but...
Just imagine if they had a real 6-foot bear there and then a tiny little rabbit and the rabbit's angry at the bear.
It's gonna be, if they do them the correct portion, it's gonna make no sense having a rabbit that big.
It'd be hilarious.
Fuck it, I'll do the motion capture rabbit. I should do the voice for him.
I'll do Eeyore, I just get to sit there and sulk.
If you want, I'm pretty sure that's all they're gonna do.
Exactly.
I really don't understand what Disney's doing with this concept because it just... We're going to talk about this another time, but it just kind of seems that Disney's just kind of run out of ideas and kind of not looking at their history the same way that Nintendo is kind of looking at its history and kind of homaging it.
Embracing it, they're recreating it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No one... I don't really think anyone was asking for a live action version. If anything, I think people were like, are they going to do another Winnie the Pooh film? Even if they did this in the style of, like, let's say the art style of Frozen.
Yeah.
I'd have no problem with that.
But it's like
really.
Full CG. It's not...
If it was like Pixar was going to do an adaptation of Winnie the Pooh, I'd be like, alright, that's cool.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make much sense.
No,
I mean...
it really doesn't. I can understand live action stuff like Cinderella, in a way. Or if they wanted to do Snow White.
But Cinderella's been told 1,000 times.
Oh, you know, their live action Cinderella's out in cinemas now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And they've got Beauty and the Beast that they're doing.
Well, it makes sense, there's humans in it.
Yeah.
Same with the slightly more recently confirmed Mulan live action film.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, alright Disney, that makes sense.
Starring a slice of bread as the lead character. Because it's going to be white.
Oh, there ain't going to be no Asian people in that film.
It's going to be extremely white.
No Asian.
Whiter than the Avalanche.
That should be its sub-name, Mulan, no Asian.
Mulan, no Asian, whiter than the Avalanche.
I think that would be the American edition, actually.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the world will kind of get like a version with people who can actually do martial arts and sword fighting, and then the rest will just be kind of guys, just like, yeah, I'm Asian.
And they'll be at a high school. Because everything's... Oh my god, I know who they're going to get to play Mulan.
Oh no.
It's going to be Tom Cruise.
Oh no. Oh no.
They're just going to put a wig on him.
Wait, but Mulan's a female.
Exactly. They'll put a wig on Tom Cruise.
They have to get a female actress, but I have no idea who they're going to get.
That's the only way he can look like a male, because, you know, it is a male.
Oh, they should get an all-black cast. That would be the ultimate piss take.
Yeah, people will get furious. Americans will
people would
condemn
rage so bad. They'd be like, I don't want to watch a film with black people in it, you know, despite the fact that's not the issue.
No. Like, everyone will focus on that. It's like, they should have just been Asian. It's got nothing to do
It's
with...
not even the fact that they need to be Asian, it's the fact that you're not going to even take the source material and look at it again, or even have any sense of that. Any sense of orientation. You don't have to put Asian people in a film to, make it a better film. You have to pick the right cast. But if it's something like this where you're essentially going to try and get that aesthetic of having that Asian Japanese feel, putting people who speak American in that isn't going to achieve anything.
It's just going to be really dull, and I can't stop it but groan at this. It really just angers me.
It angers me a lot, and it's not a great thing.
No.
Yep, like I've already said like 3 times, we'll be talking about Disney in the next podcast. Something that we a discussion which should be interesting. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. But hey Ace.
Yes, Raccoon.
Guess what I've been watching?
What have you been watching?
I finished Father of the Pride.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, it took me a while.
How was it?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Now that I've watched the whole series, I can say I fully enjoy the series.
Oh, good.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah. Do you want to update any of our viewers a little on the show?
Yeah, essentially the Father of the Pride is a DreamWorks animated comedy starring John Goodman and a couple other stars. It basically has John Goodman playing a white lion and his family in Las Vegas with the magic performers Siegfried and Royd as pretty much part of the performance, and they pretty much have the good life there. The show pretty much just kind of revolves around the day-to-day lives of the family and any other mischief they get into. I think I've already mentioned how they have certain cameos from Danny DeVito as a Paranoid Crab, and Donkey, or Eddie Murphy as Donkey from the Shrek films. We do get a few other like cameos in the film. I cannot for the life of me remember the guy's name, but he's in he's got a very kind of like a stoner kind of mentality to the way he's voiced, and the most recent film he was in was Grown Ups. Always forget his name.
It wasn't Philip DeFranco, is it?
Long hair or something like that.
Might be Philip DeFranco.
Possibly him. He's got a somewhat stoner sounding voice, and
Does he always look like very arrogant, like just his face?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Might not be Philip DeFranco then.
No, I don't know. I forget his name. I'll double check later and I guess update people on that. But you get a cameo from him, and I was glad to hear him because he kind of plays the perfect character. And I guess animal in some sense. He plays a coyote.
Okay.
And there's a really, because the last couple episodes are really funny. They actually managed to get a lot of really good jokes in there.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty funny scene where like they need to get on a bus in order to get somewhere, and he kind of just turns to he kind of turns to the 2 characters at the time, and he basically says, you know in a movie where the guy who's been messing up the whole film finally steps forward and proves himself. I think I got this moment. So he kind of just walks out in front of the bus and then just gets hit by the bus.
Oh no! Wow.
And the way they show that is just so unapologetic that it was just so perfect.
Oh wow.
It was brilliant though. I was like, one thing I kind of hoped that he would come back.
Yeah.
If there were to be a second season, because in one of the last episodes, one of the characters who was voiced by I forget her name. Her name is Lisa, but she played Phoebe in Friends.
Oh, Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow. She does return for another episode, which was really good to see. She plays a depressed panda.
Oh, that's perfect.
And it revolves around a feminine type group, kind of the embodiment and the empowerment of females, which Kate, being John Goodman's wife, is in. And there's a pretty funny scene where they kind of say, "Oh, you gotta get back into being the hunter," and she chases after this rabbit, and she they say, "Oh, well done for getting back into your roots." And can we give a round of applause for John, our actor prey, and he was like, he was an actor. Because she clearly just ate him. And there's a bit where they kind of just start, whoa, feminine power, and then Lisa's character just goes, yeah, let's go cut off a penis. and the leader just kind of goes, I think you need a different group.
That sounds brilliant, actually. You've kind of sold it to me.
Yeah, it's a good show. I mean, the only downsides of the series is something that I've noticed is that the two children of the family don't get much screen time. Really, they don't really get an episode. Their daughter does.
Yeah.
Which is Serena. She does get an episode. But Hunter only gets kind of like half an episode.
Oh, okay.
Which is a real shame because I think he's an interesting character. They definitely kind of play on the fact that he might be stupid.
Yeah.
Border on retarded, maybe.
Oh, okay.
He does have the cone around his head.
Oh.
I mean, there is a scene where Samoti, which is the eldest.
Yeah.
Of the I guess White Lions, he does gonna pass him down a pocket watch. No idea why he has a pocket watch, but whatever.
If you watched Pulp Fiction, you'll know why.
He has different reasons why.
Oh, okay.
He's passing it down to him. He kind of passes it down to him, and he kind of then I think Hunter kind of like does something stupid. And he goes, "Yeah, I think I'll hold on to this. See if you can look after this coin."
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
they do some good jokes with him, but they don't really do an episode with him.
Yeah.
Like in the episode I mentioned with the whole feminine empowerment, there's a scene where Serena kind of comes out and she kind of says, "Mom, Hunter is looking at your I think it was something like Exploring the Female Bodies magazine, and he's now exploring his body." And she was kind of like, "Yeah, okay."
That's good. That's good.
Jokes like that are pretty.
Yeah.
What are pretty good in this series, and I really do like the series for that.
Yeah.
It's David Spade.
Oh, okay.
Who plays the coyote.
Yeah.
He does a brilliant job as Tommy. No idea why they all have casual names.
Yeah.
Except for Samoti.
Okay.
I have no idea what the origin of that name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good series. I would recommend it. I would really like to see the show come back.
You kind of sold me on it with Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, there are a few other people I haven't mentioned, like Kelsey Grammer makes a cameo as himself.
Okay. Oh.
Well, as Kelsey Grammer, but as Frasier.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Which was pretty nice, and there's a few other like interesting cameos as well. But it's a good show. It's worth a watch if you want to see an animated series that is fairly good for the most part, and it's worth a watch and should come back. I definitely recommend Father of the Pride.
Okay.
No.
So, Raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what I've been watching?
What have you been watching?
I've been watching some cult classic films, which are some of my favourites.
Oh, which ones would they be?
One which you might be familiar with, The Warriors.
Warriors,
come out to play!
Have to.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favourite films of all time, and seeing as I got Netflix, I checked and it was on there, so
I got some empty bottles, let me just put them on my finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I decided to watch that again, and it's still really good. I mean, some of the acting is still a bit, like, iffy, but overall, it's a really good film.
Yeah.
I mean, in case you haven't watched, it's about a gang from Coney Island in 1979. And they're on their way to this big gang meeting, but trouble happens. And they've got to make their way back home. That's probably not going to sell it much.
Yeah.
But there's a reason it's a cult classic.
It's a cult classic, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you've seen a scene of someone dressing up as one of the characters in it.
Very memorable, Baseball Furies all the way.
Yeah.
I've also saw one of my other favourite films, another cult classic, Heathers.
Heathers.
Yeah, it's named because three of the characters are all called Heathers. Mm-hmm. But it's about the character played by Winona Ryder, who's trying to be in that group. Kind of Mean Girls, Lindsay Lohan trying to be a plastic. But she ends up kind of liking this really kind of rebel outcast guy called JD, played by Christian Slater.
JD?
Yeah. And it deals with teenage, like, depression in a way, and society's effects on teenagers, and how they're kind of exploited in a way.
Is it very relevant to today's time, would you say?
It's very relevant today, surprisingly. I think it was 80s or 90s, but it's an amazing film. I wholeheartedly recommend this. It's probably, I think, the 80s of Mean Girls, despite being a lot darker.
That's a quote right there.
Yeah. Seen as Clueless was like Mean Girls of the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, Heathers is definitely the darkest of the bunch, and it's got some very memorable lines. If you'd like me, I can tell one.
Yeah, go
on. Fuck me gently with a chainsaw. That's
I think
very
I've heard
good
that
line.
one, actually.
Yeah, it's very good.
Unless you're Leatherface, then that's not going to happen.
No. But we can't all have Leatherface.
I can, I have a chainsaw. But, yeah, and the next film you're talking about.
The next film I watched, which was... I'm sorry, but everyone's heard of this film. Whether you've watched it or not, it's said to be the best film ever made. Citizen Kane.
Oh, who are you going to say? Transformers?
No, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
By Michael Bay. You know, the best film ever. It's got Raphael's Declaration of Cowabunga. Mm-hmm. It's also got great cinematic and cinematography, great writing, all by Michael Bay.
He made the whole film, didn't he?
He did. He made the whole film in the 40s. And it's not black and white. No.
That's stupid. How can I watch a film in black and white?
Yeah. But Citizen Kane has some of the best storytelling, I'd have to say, and I was invested in the main character.
Yeah.
And he becomes a prick, like an actual evil person,
and you're
in a way.
Very much aware of that.
Yes. But you still follow him because he's got charm. Something maybe Star Wars should have done with Anakin.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, Orson Welles was a very interesting and masterful person. He was also incredibly hard to work with.
Yes.
If you just look up that scene of him doing an advert on the radio advert, it is pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I think more people need to be like that, no matter what media career you're in. But I think it's a pretty good film. It has probably one of the best room destruction scenes ever.
Yes.
And
that was great.
And I think it's films like that, which, you know, I think a lot of people kind of go for sometimes an artsy-fartsy kind of way, and sometimes it can just kind of become just art. Yeah. Because art would know.
Or it took 12 years to make.
Yeah, or some crap like that. I mean, Birdman is one of the more recent examples where it has an artistic flair, where it's not shoved in your face, like, look how good we are. No, they made a good film that clearly has a style.
Yeah, exactly.
An aesthetic to it. But yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Citizen Kane in a while, but I still think it's a pretty good film, and it's
it really is.
one of the best examples of good filmmaking and good creation.
Yeah.
Next to like other thing, I know I wouldn't really call this a classic, but I guess maybe like David Lynch's like Eraserhead.
Yeah, that one's a very tough one to watch though. Like, depending on who you are.
Yeah, it's the scene with that thing with the baby. Still don't know how they made it.
The dining room scene is still kind of weird.
Most of them are weird.
Yeah. But if you're under 20, you might not like Citizen Kane. It might be quite boring.
Well, you're assuming that everyone under 20 has a short attention span. You have to remember, not everyone is an idiot.
But
and I would assume that not everyone who listens to this podcast is an idiot.
Okay, true, I'll give you that. But on the internet, you've got a lot of people on there that don't care. Like, they see something and it's like, no, it's boring. It hasn't been action for a whole second now.
Well, let them burn in mediocrity.
Yeah.
And the last film you watched, not that I'm pressuring you or rushing you.
Oh, no, that was a bad film, though. I watched, think it's Marlon Wayans. I watched his Haunted House movie.
Good lord.
And I turned it off after 30 seconds.
So you can't really talk. Well, why did you turn it off after 30 seconds, and I guess?
I don't know if they were trying to make jokes.
You have to remember that with some of these films, it does generally become like, what's the best way to put it? It does generally become like, we're gonna do this now.
Well, there was a whole, I think, minute and a half scene of him simulating sex with a teddy bear and a bunny rabbit teddy bear, and I don't understand.
How does that work?
Well, he was only wearing his boxers, and he was on the bed, and he was like simulating sexual acts, so having the teddy bear in front of his genitals and thrusting, or him having his head between the teddy bear's legs, And yeah.
Makes no sense.
And they went on for a whole minute and a half.
Oh, it's too long.
Yeah, for an apparent joke, which wasn't funny.
No, that's not funny at all.
No.
Some shit.
Yeah, I can't recommend that film unless you want to know how not to make a film.
Then you can recommend it.
Yes. If you want to know how not to make a film, then watch that. But realise you might be in pain while you watch it.
Fair enough. The last other thing that I've been watching was a cartoon which I kind of forgot to watch, and it kind of slipped onto my radar, but I finally got to watch a couple episodes and watched a few more episodes and that is Wonder Over Yonder.
Oh, yes.
The next animated series by Craig McCracken, who also worked on the Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah, you told me about this and you sent me a video, and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's a fantastic series.
It is. It's nice and light-hearted. It's not stupid as well.
It's a definition of what a cartoon should be. Not that I'm trying to say cartoons that are good but don't break the traditions of being cartoons are bad.
Yeah.
The show knows exactly what it wants to be, and is doing that. Yeah. It's pretty fun. It essentially follows Wanda, who is a wanderer of, I guess, the universe.
Yeah.
And his steed being Sylvia, this like blue bronchosaurus kangaroo horse type thing.
I was kind of confused what it was supposed to be.
Well, I don't know what she has a name for her race, I believe.
Oh, okay.
She has a second name. But I can't remember it right now.
Okay.
And it's basically their misadventures, exploring the universe, meeting different creatures, and also foiling the plans of Lord Hater, the I guess the main villain of the series.
And the scourge of the internet as well, Lord Hater.
True. That brilliant name for a villain as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The series is pretty damn good. I'd like to recommend episodes like The Good Guy and Day and Night. I think those are perfect episodes to explain how good the series is and how it works. I mean, I even showed my brother the series, and I think we were kind of like he was on his skateboard, I was on the scooter, and I think we were kind of just racing up the street, and I was just kind of mocking him, going tick tock tick tock tick tock tick tock, basically from the episode Time Bomb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good series. I'll definitely be watching more of it. It's really good to hear that there's going to be a second season currently in works right now, because it definitely deserves it.
Congrats to them then.
Yes,
they deserve it.
Mind you, a Disney Channel production.
Wow. Okay.
Shows on Disney.
So Disney understands cartoons.
No, they don't. You have to remember the people work for Disney.
Oh,
from Disney.
Okay. So when it's got a big name above it, it doesn't mean it's exactly from that person.
No, not necessarily. It's Craig McCracken.
Because the internet told me otherwise. That as soon as a product has a big name above it, it's just theirs.
Yeah, you need to stop listening to the internet.
Yeah.
Because they're like right 60% of the time.
I think everyone should stop listening to the internet.
That's a great way to kind of end this podcast. But before we end the podcast, we are going to obviously leave you with the video of the week, which I'm going to leave 2 videos of the week.
Oh.
This time, mainly because they have a lot of relevance to the podcast. And the first one, which is the main one, is going to be Quad City DJs versus Carry Pomu Pomu. The 3DS commercial song. This is... I'm not even really going to explain this, but anyone who knows the Quad City DJs and knows of Carry Pomu Pomu and can kind of imagine these two things going together with a Nintendo theme, it might be maybe a little bit mind-blowing for some people, perhaps.
I still don't understand it.
It is fairly confusing, and I can understand people mainly just going, what the fuck? But you have to understand that it's happening right in front of you.
Yeah, I'm still confused by it. I'm not sure what happened or what was happening. It had me in a trance.
And the other thing I'm going to link, as soon as it's also relevant, is Foxy Gets Hooked, which is the trailer for a Five Nights at Freddy's animated parody. I I think this is a fantastic little short, and I hope to see this film or little short or animation or TV series or whatever it's going to be, because the art style is fantastic, and I'm going to consider this the true Five Nights at Freddy's film. And I just want to spread this little animation around, because I think it's deserving. I think the animator, for his sense of humour and how he draws, I think he deserves a little bit more support and help and just knowledge, really.
If you'd like a bonus video, which I'm sure you do, you can check out Ace Enigma Plays Batman Arkham Asylum
Some
Part 1.
Shameless promotion right there.
It's up today! Well, 3 days ago.
No, we'll link in the podcast. Might as well.
I had to be shameless.
Just so I guess people know where they can find you on the interwebs.
Yay! So much Ace.
I guess, is that going to be your slogan to end like every
Oh my
episode
god,
with?
that'd be perfect.
But don't do it as nervous.
It'd be like so much win. Who's nervous? What?
Is that a dog reference?
No, I don't. I'm confused.
Okay, I think we're reaching dead end now. I am the Angry Raccoon,
And I am Ace.
and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Ace for the win.
Alright, bye.
Bye.